All right, so tonight's episode is going to be a little different, ladies and gentlemen. For obvious reasons, I want to welcome you back to the True Seekers Live, True Seekers podcast. It's the drama edition, the drama episode. But I would say, honestly, for a pretty good reason at this point. I've read so many comments. I appreciate for everybody for reaching out to me and really explaining so many different perspectives on this interview, which has gotten more views that I think all of us anticipated than it would. And I'm happy for that because it brings more recognition to the channel, to the message, and to everything that we say on this platform here. I want to welcome you once again. Thank you to all of our channel subscribers. Thank you to the moderators that worked very hard on the last live stream and that will continue to do so on this stream. And a huge shout out to you watching wherever you are tonight on this lovely Friday night. I believe it's Friday. Is it Friday already? Today is Friday night. That's right. We're not going to do our national holiday, nor are we going to do news articles. We're going to go ahead and dive right onto this topic. I want to thank everybody for who decided to still go ahead and stick around. I'm going to answer a few questions or comments right now before we go ahead and dive into my response or my interview or my live stream, whatever you want to call it at this point, with SpaceGhostPurrp. Alexander Live says this: he let a black man threaten to murder and take black women. What don't you weirdos get? Alexander Lives will address this in 1 second. There was another comment that aligned with the same notion or what you spoke on. Tommy says this: she's mad at me. Tommy says she's mad at me even more so that he allowed women that SGP threatened to come on and to try to talk sense into him. THT should have done that, not the women. Right. So I want to say something first and foremost, right? First and foremost, let's address this whole defending women and what it looks like for a content creator to defend women online. And, THT should have done this and he should have been here and done this. Listen, I want you to understand, and ladies in particular I'm talking to, obviously, and this can be guys as well, but I need you to understand one fundamental concept. Right now, I'm on YouTube. You're looking at me through a computer screen. You're looking at me through a digital recreation through pixels, bits, colors, 702s, 682s, 709s, whatever they might be, representation of me. Through this microphone, you're hearing my voice, my sound, and it travels through your speakers, your cell phone, your TV screens, wherever you're and however you're watching me right now. You're doing so through technology. I'm not physically there with you. And so there's a similarity in me not being physically here with you right now in this very instance, and then me also not being physically with you in real life if something were to happen to you in real life. And I need you to understand this very fundamental concept. The reason that I decided to let SpaceGhostPurrp, or SGP, the reason I decided to start calling him SGP in the first place was because repeatedly saying SpaceGhostPurrp, 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 it would have gotten a little annoying, right? So I know that some of y'all saying I fanboyed for him and this and that. We're going to talk about all that. Don't worry. We'll talk about all that, right? We're going to talk about masculinity. We're going to talk about everything tonight, right? We're going to talk about everything. And so going back to this, right? What is it to protect? I can't be with you in real life. Something were to happen to you in real life, I can't do anything. This is one of the reasons why on every single live stream, at the end of it, I look into the camera and I look at you and I say, hey, if you're a lady or a man, if you're anybody, start thinking about self-defense. If the Second Amendment's legal, start thinking about self-defense and concealed carry. Start thinking about buying a Second Amendment. We all know what I'm talking about. An arm and a log fire, right? You understand what I'm talking about. I always talk about going to get pepper spray or bear mace if you're not comfortable with a firearm, because I want you to know that these things do happen, and I'm not going to be able to be there to protect you. You're going to have to be able to protect yourself. This is just the reality of the world we live in, right? You can listen to your favorite content creators rant and rave all day about protecting you and doing so online and coming to your rescue. That's great, and I understand that. I completely do. Trust me, I've done that before too, right? We had the Poor Man's Podcast on here. I ranted and raved. Nothing got done at the end of the night. He went back to doing what he does. I'm back to doing what I do. Ranting and raving is great, and there is a time to fight. Most definitely there's a time to fight. But there's also a time to understand your enemy, because if you don't know what the hell you're fighting, then you're prone to lose, or you have a lot more probability or a higher probability to lose in this chance. So my bringing him on was for a lot of different reasons. But getting back to this whole protector thing, I'm not going to be there to protect you. Nyla is not going to be there to protect you. Cynthia is not going to be there to protect you. Taz is not going to be there to protect you. Obama's not going to be there to protect you. Your mayor, your president, whoever you elected into office is not going to be there to protect you. You know who's going to be there to protect you? It's not going to be a police officer. They're going to be minutes away, if not a few hours or so. The only person that's going to be able to protect you if something, God forbid, does happen to you, if you do meet a Space Ghost Perp in real life and he does decide he wants to harm you, it's not going to be the words that your favorite content creator said. It's going to be you having a visual, a future experience. It's going to be you seeing something through what you saw the other night. It's going to be you having a life-changing experience. It's going to make you all of a sudden realize that you need to have something to protect yourself. But until it becomes real for you, it's just kind of happen say. It's just kind of internet play, right? So I let him talk for multiple reasons, for a multitude of reasons, but that's just one of them. We're going to get into some other stuff, and thank you for becoming a channel member as well to Nunya Biz. I appreciate Nunya Biz for becoming a channel member, right? Nabuena says coward, right? I can't protect you. I can scream and yell at him all day. China Arlene says the honest B word. All right. I can scream and yell at him all day. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. We'll talk about some of the more psychological perspectives of what I did later in a couple of seconds. But let me ask you something. And this is something that may need to honestly, right, start changing, right? But keep this in mind and bear this in mind. None of your favorite content creators are going to go and knock off Space Ghost Perp, right? None of them are going to go knock off George Zimmerman, right? So all this talk is exactly what it is at this point. When guys are really just talking online and doing all this talking, talk, that's all it is. It's just talk, right? Talking is great, and obviously defending our women is great. But once again, there's going to be a time when I'm not there to defend you. All right. I hate to say it. Once again, that's the world that we live in. All right. Let's see. I'm not gonna be able to read the comments. Let's kind of talk about a couple of things for a second. Let's talk about a couple of things. So we went through what everything with Purple was saying on on the interview, and he's talking crazy, yada yada yada. He decided to come up. Said, "Cool, hey, hop on up. Awesome, hop on up." Pretty chill, right? Seemed pretty chill. Obviously, it was a lot different from what we just got done watching or listening to. Apparently, some of his supporters are saying he has bipolar disorder. He has this, he has that. Right? Who knows? Obviously, he probably has that and a lot more, right? Sorry, my fans are loud. Right? He's got a lot going on. So he hops up. And I figure this is a good time to go ahead and let everybody have a couple of words, to speak to him. I figure this is a good time to go ahead and just let everybody really get what they want to say out to him. Because oftentimes I can just talk and I don't let enough people talk. And I've gotten that. I've had a lot of people say that. You don't let us talk enough or anything of that nature. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to let everybody talk today. I want everybody to talk today and for everybody to have their own experience, if you will, per se, quote unquote. I want as many people to get on today as possible. Right. I want this to be something that people can be able to see, right? What happens, what we speak about, what goes on in our community. I wanted this to be an ability for other communities to be able to see what happens in our community, right? Let's back up a little bit. So the complaints I always get, I don't give enough time to the guests. So today I let them speak as much as they want. Or that day I let them speak as much as they want. Maybe I didn't speak enough. Maybe I should have said more. Right. I wasn't masculine enough. I wasn't masculine enough. What exactly is it to be masculine? Right. What is it to be masculine? Come onto the panel. If you want to come onto the panel and ask me a question, I'm going to open up the panel right now. This stream is specifically dedicated to this. We're not going to do that many drama episodes going on in the future either. There you go. There's the link. I wasn't masculine enough. I've gotten remarks that I'm gay. I'm not gay, but so it may seem, right? So it may seem to some. I've and there, I listen. I've never had sexual contact with a man, uh, and I don't judge men who do have sexual contact with a man. Contact with a man, that doesn't bother me. Listen, live and let live. That's my thing in life. I believe it. However, I'm not gay. Hello, Psycho Candy. Good to see you, man. It's been a long time.
Hey man, yeah. I just wanted to come up here and say a couple of things.
Go
I've
ahead.
been one of your. I could probably say that I've been one of your day ones.
Absolutely.
I've been here since you were a small channel. That's how long I've been here. I think a lot of this is just fake outrage. Um,
Mm.
there people are saying, "Oh, how could you associate yourself with this man?" And blah blah blah. You knew this, or you might have not known, but he was this and that. All I see on him, to be honest, when I Google search or come up with something is assault, assault on a female, on a woman, late 2017. Now I'm not trying to justify anything, or what this guy said.
Right.
What he said was outlandish. Now, would he act on it? Me personally, I don't think he would. This is the internet. People say things all the time that they don't mean, or that they won't stand on. We have people in the so-called manosphere talking about, oh, I'll catch your flight. Catch a flight, and no one's caught a flight yet.
Right.
No one's done anything. You know, um, but I just want to say, like I said, it's fake outrage. Don't even worry about the comments. Um, I don't even pay attention to the chat like that because it's a bunch of nothing. It's fake outrage. Um, your channel, you got a nice channel going on. People are
Appreciate it.
gonna people are gonna disagree with you. They're gonna say whatever they want, but that's okay. We'll be back to business pretty soon. You know,
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, listen, I appreciate that, Psycho King. Let me go ahead and read
yeah.
this. I'm pull you down. I'm gonna have just kind of dual screen thing going, but I'll pull you down, bring you back up in a little bit, man. Chanel and Mumu, I see you in the back. We'll pull you up in 1 second. Chavis Grenard for the $5 super chat says it's amazing how many Manosphere folks and Space Goat Perp drones have smoke for everyone except for those who threaten our communities. Yeah, that's always an interesting perspective. And then obviously we have the angle where it's more interesting because of the fact no matter where we are in a certain YouTube sphere and space, and right, and it being the fact that we have to fight multiple wars on multiple fronts, and there's this, I guess, just severe need to divide this space that we're in. Right? It's very interesting. Right? Very interesting. But say la vie. So is life. So is life. Demis, what did you think, and what was your review or critiques on the video? After Themis, we're going to have Chanel, and then Mumu. After Mumu, we'll have Taz. Taz is actually back on the panel, so we'll have Taz back on. Go ahead, Themis.
I think it is not the best idea to accept the first gentleman's notion that this is, quote, fake outrage. I don't think that would, if I were in your position, I would not take that as truth. I don't think it's fake outrage. I think even if you don't agree, the women who are, I think we share most of our audience, and the women who reached out to me and were asking me to talk about it and talk about it, I said I would not talk about it unless I spoke to you first, because I do have tremendous respect for you. um, you were the only other male that I found in this space that were, I mean, we're not the same, but was out doing similar content to me. So first, I want to say that. Second, as it relates to the video, the live stream, I have to admit that I too was a bit disappointed. I was disappointed not because of how I think you were gracious to him, because I don't have it in me to just attack someone. So I'm not the one who's going to fight. So I don't pretend like I'm going to be verbally sort of insulting when I'm not going to fight. So I'm not that. But
Right.
what found odd and where I got pause was it felt like the women were sort of out there having to engage with this man in an unhealthy way. And it it felt unproductive. And I heard you say that you were trying to sort of exemplify what happens in some sector of the Black community, which I think I get it. And I don't have any hate for you or anything like that. I'm still supporting. It's fine. I just honestly, I thought this would be more apologetic, and apologetic not because I'm saying you did anything wrong, but apologetic because I think a lot of women, more than me, right? Because I'm a fruitcake in most people's mind, but for you, I think there is a kind of he's going to say it like it is, and he's going to let them have it. And in that moment, there was points where it felt like you sort of let him be, and then the women were left to defend themselves, as opposed to you defending, sort of defending on your platform. But I mean, I I
Yeah.
understand your out. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're fine, Davis. I just want to no, I understand. I just want to answer that point really quickly, and then Chanel, Mumu, y'all have to forgive me if I don't bring Taz up next. Then there'll be more problems than there already are. So I'm going to bring Taz up next. Y'all have to wait for a second, ladies. My apologies. Nelly Child says, I was disappointed at the end when THT said they need to link for business. Other than that, I think this was a fair interview. The only business I had for SpaceGhostPurrp in this instance was to make not movies, YouTube videos and further videos and live streams. That's the only interest I had with SGP. I'm sure I'm going to get the glitch insult at this point now, but that's the only interest I had in furthering this discussion, essentially having this discussion at a later point, right? And maybe in a much more scrutinous type manner, right? Maybe just having another live stream. That's the purpose. I said doing business. I don't plan on making merch with the guy. I don't plan on starting a business with the guy, right? That's not my idea, right? But I can see how it could be interpreted that way. I can see that. I do. I can see that. Let me go ahead and move on, Themis. Give me 1 second. Did I fully kind of answer your questions, Themis, in the way I need to, or not?
Yeah, I
Re-ask it if I didn't.
well, let me simplify it instead of all of that. It's I want I hope not just attempting to grow our platform. And this was a subscriber who said this to me, that you have a chance to ask John if you have a chance to ask him if this was about growth of his channel or truth.
No, you never know. You never know when a video is going to get popular or when a video is going to grow. I don't know most of the time. Most of the time, if I do a live stream and I'm like, man, that was an amazing live stream, people are like, yeah, it was all right. And I'm like, really? I thought that was the most amazing live stream. And then I'll do a video or make some that I just don't put any effort in. People are like, man, that was the most amazing video I've ever seen in my life, right? That's just kind of the way it goes. I don't know what's going to get popular. I have no idea, right? I don't know. I just try and make it the best show and to still at least adhere to what we talk about along this channel. That's really the only thing I try and do, right? Just stay to the concept or at least the fundamental baseline of what our channel is about. Right. But I mean, no, there's no way to know that. I mean, nobody knows the algorithm. If that was the case, then there'd be a lot more YouTube millionaires, but they're not. So thank you, Thomas. I'm gonna take you down. Taz, welcome back. I should say, Taz. Good to see you in the building. The floor is yours.
Yeah. So, bro, why you let that man come on here and you was all fanned out like that, fam? Like you was literally sitting like a fanboy, like telling him you love his music and you back listen to him back in the day, and like, did you not hear the audio that he had?
Yeah. I now, what audio are you speaking about? The audio that I played earlier on the video?
The audio in which that man said he's gonna drive up, pull out, hop out, chase down a black woman, throw her in the car, cover her mouth, and rape her. That audio. The audio you never addressed. Don't you see an issue with that?
Yeah, well, that's what the entire live stream was about, Taz. If you didn't know, we played that portion of the video and every other portion of the video
You
that
ain't
you
playing while he was here.
Right,
No,
right,
you
right. I
didn't
didn't
play it while he was here. You was sitting here fanning while he was up here.
Right, right, right. No, maybe to you, I was fanning. But once again, Taz, I'm not saying that that I can't understand how it's interpreted in that way, because I absolutely can. The reasoning for my method or for doing that was to a get him to talk publicly, b to let other people talk to him. Uh, if I just destroy him completely, nobody else is
But
going to
you
have a
gave,
chance.
wait, but dog, nah, you let him talk
Taz,
publicly,
Taz, listen,
but you
Taz,
gave him an
Taz,
out. You
Taz,
made sure he had
Taz,
an out. You were fanning.
Taz, Taz. I'll let you talk. I promise I will, man. All right. Uh, if I destroy him, there's not going to be a conversation. I already had Poor Man Podcast on. I destroyed him. The conversation went nowhere. Instead, I decided to go ahead and let him talk this time. Hey, I can't stop him. I can't take back the words that he said, man. All right. I can't. I can reprimand him all day, yes, but I decided to let other people talk instead. And after the first couple of conversations, I said, you know what? I'm gonna just keep bringing people up and letting them talk to him, male and females, white, black, Latino. Everybody was watching. All right. So that was my game plan. All right. Now, whether or not I could have interjected more, I can see how that could be an arguable, right? An arguable argument right there. Definitely. But I decided to go a different route with this interview. I've destroyed a lot of guys on the panel before, man. I wasn't fanned out. This is a strategic method, almost like a good cop type bad cop. After Cerebral went off on him, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and chill out for a little bit, because there's gonna be a lot of people going out with them. This is known as the Reed interrogation method. When you have a good cop and a bad cop, and the suspect builds a relationship with the good cop, quote unquote, but both cops are trying to get him locked up or sealed. That's the goal.
That's
right?
the goal.
That's the goal. Go
So
ahead.
the woman was the bad cop?
There were not just women that came up and talked to him. Did you see
I'm
only women
asking
the
you,
entire time?
he specifically used Cerebral.
Answer my question. Did you just see women talking to him the entire live stream?
Yeah, the other men was fanning like you was. So what I'm asking
Right.
is, you saying
So,
you and
so the other,
Cerebral
the other
was
guy,
good cop, bad cop?
what other guy are you talking about? Commendable K was fanning as well?
Well, Commendable K was just as weak as you, because he sat there and let the man go off on him. Commendable K
Right.
sat there and let the man talk crazy to him and didn't ever check him. So what ends up happening is you had him walking around with all complete confidence on your channel, putting his gang signs up, walking back and forth, swaying all in the camera. You did not show him that he was out of pocket and out of line. You said it, but you didn't show it. Your behavior towards him was not. You got this whole ass nigga up here right now. I'll show you how to handle it. Come off you, fuck nigga.
Okay, well, Taz, just give me 1 second.
How you gotta handle a nigga like that?
The whole float at your head.
Now watch this.
You know what I'm saying?
Watch this, the honest truth. Now watch.
I don't support none of that shit. I don't support rape, prostitution. I don't support.
So why did you do a video about it?
And use a bitch ass
Yeah,
nigga
young.
for defending that bitch.
Tell
Use a bitch ass nigga for defending that.
what
hoe.
bitch? Oh,
You was cussing that hoe out the other day.
video.
You was cussing her out the other day. Be real, nigga. You a real nigga, right? All right, then, you bitch ass nigga. You was cussing her out the other day.
No doubt.
Where you, nigga?
I
Where you
ain't
from,
cuss
nigga?
nobody out.
Where you from, nigga?
Bitch ass nigga. I knew you would feel confident coming back here. Why you ain't come to my shit again,
nigga? You was just
nigga. You don't want no
was just
smoke,
beefing with that hoe, you
why in
bitch
the
ass nigga.
fuck would you allow
You
this
was just
bitch ass
beefing with
nigga on the
that
front
hoe,
with me, nigga?
That hoe
Why you got this
disgusting
little ass
shit.
nigga up here with me? Don't you know what I did to this nigga that night? I had this nigga on my motherfucking channel crying that night, nigga. Now I feel confident again. So I doing bad on him with you. If you want to sit here and try me with your fucking homeboy, nigga, it's obviously, nigga, you put this shit a joke, nigga. Why the fuck did you put this nigga on a fucking panel with me, nigga? Are you that afraid, honest truth? Why the fuck with me and you, nigga? Why you put the rapist up with me and you, nigga? I ain't done with you yet. How that rapist up here already? I'll body his ass again. I'm talking to you.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit,
nigga.
You ain't gonna do shit.
Bitch ass nigga, I'll be back in Miami in 2 months, nigga. Shut the fuck up. I'll let you know when I'm back in Miami,
I'm gonna beat
nigga.
your ass, nigga.
You a
Kill
dead
your
man
son,
talking,
nigga.
nigga. Who the
let
fuck
me
you think you
see.
talking to,
Let's
nigga?
try and
I wasn't here to
let me
talk to
see.
you, nigga. But I'll do your bitch ass bad again. You keep forgetting what I did to you the other night. I already embarrassed you. I had your bitch ass sitting on my channel crying, whining. Now you get over here and you want to act like you're for black people. You sitting on this man channel again another night, pretending like you care about the black community. We are not but honest truth might let you come on here and say, I'll never forget, nigga. I have the audio. I got that audio, nigga. I got that audio, nigga. Hey, I got that audio, nigga.
She cannot handle discussing some shit back
I got that audio, little nigga. I got that audio, little nigga. It ain't a fucking thing you can do with me, nigga.
Okay, guys, I gotta mute. I gotta mute both of y'all. Let's read this super chat. Jazz and Justice says Taz does this every channel he feels threatened by. This is not his first rodeo.
Wait a minute, bro. Didn't you just let that man on the panel with me? Me and you was having a conversation and you let him up here. How Taz do something?
Taz,
But women in your chat dumb as fuck, nigga.
I thought
You
you
ain't see
liked
what
to
just happened? You let that nigga on the panel with me. I was talking nice to your corny ass. I know you a cornball. I should knew you was gonna try some weak ass tactic, nigga. Don't play with me, bro. I was talking to you.
All right, Taz. Let's just give me a couple seconds, Taz. $10 super chat as well from Jazz and Justice says Taz has an extensive domestic violence record. Taz, do you have a domestic violence record?
Do I have an extensive domestic violence record? Have I ever been convicted of domestic violence? No. Did you sit up here with a motherfucker that threatened rape on women and not ask him about it? Scary ass nigga. Did we just witness your scary, pussy, corny ass not say shit about the nigga who said he'd jump out on some black women? Your mammies over here ain't willing to test you on what the fuck you just did? You gonna try to dox me because you're terrified of that pussy ass nigga you read on the panel that you thought was gonna silence me? That's what you thought? You thought that nigga was gonna be able to help you, nigga?
Are you getting ready to go? Are you getting ready to go take a trip to Miami, Florida to go deal with them then?
Nigga, I'll be in Miami again, yes. I'm everywhere.
Right.
Because when you was up here running your mouth, talking about you can't be everywhere, talking about how people do content, you're stealing my content. Weak ass nigga. I told black women to get strapped up in 2019, little nigga. You just now starting to do what I do. I've been told black women I can't be everywhere where they at. You a fucking follower, coward, new to this shit ass nigga. And most of these women over here, they know it. They just can't take my energy. They like bitch ass niggas like you, where a nigga like SpaceGhostPurrp can come out here and disrespect you, and then they can come and defend you like they do it. You hid behind the women, you put women on Front Street, so yeah, they had to defend your weak ass. Your scary coward ass hid behind them fucking women, and you ain't say shit to that nigga because you want to still be cool with the nigga, which is why you still feel confident coming here today, hopping on your shit, talking shit to me, and you will let the nigga on while I'm talking because you a pussy. You don't want that type smoke. I know. You want to do it on the clock, little nigga?
All right, Taz. All right, $20 says this is all you wanted, right? Taz, hold on a few seconds, Taz. I'll let you know.
I want to know why you let that motherfucker up here and didn't contest him. You're playing dumb.
Taz, you're interesting, man. Thank you, Organic, back for the $20 super chat. This is it. I thought he wanted to talk to him again.
I do this shit.
He wants to.
I'm not joking. I'm not trying to be funny. Like, fam, what's up?
I know you're not being funny. I know you're being serious. I trust me. I believe you 1,000%. 1 second, Taz. Neil $5 says some of us have trauma. This is too much. Let's problem solved without that wannabe rapper. Well, the Perp is in the background right now. Taz doesn't want to talk to him. We're probably not going to bring him back up, but I brought him back up because specifically Taz mentioned him, and I thought that Taz might want to have a few more words. So, Taz, you and I can speak specifically and exclusively at this point, okay? So,
the problem with the dude is he's running around the internet threatening women, bro. Like, I don't even have a problem.
But let's talk about you and I's problem in this case, all right? I know you have a problem with him.
Right. Okay, so my problem is you let that man come on here and you was fanned out. You fanned out.
To you, I was fanned out. I don't fan out to anybody, to be honest with you. And I think that was why you and I had a problem at first, as a matter of fact, right? Because I But having said that,
I asked you how long you've been defending women and girls. And if you had an answer that day, I would have more of an understanding about you. But because you're a fraud and you don't truly defend women and girls, it was just shown. Yeah, that's what I asked you that day and you kicked me off, remember? That's all I asked you.
Okay.
That's all I asked you, fam. I asked you how long you've been doing it. And I asked you how long you've been doing it so you don't get in situations like you got in with that nigga. See what I'm saying? I didn't want you to ever get in that situation where you start making us all look bad while you're supposed to be one of the defenders of black women. But nigga, come on here and move.
All right, Taz. We have to put you on mute. Taz, you just don't stop. I respect it. Tony Morrison, $20.
I don't stop, nigga. This you. You's a fuck boy. I don't have to respect you, nigga. The same way Space Ghost didn't, I don't. What do you mean?
All right. Okay, so we have to just take Taz down. Taz, we'll bring you back up in a second. Just give me a couple minutes here. So that's Taz. Taz Exclusive runs a YouTube channel, and he's closely affiliated with Sin as well as Nyla Says. Taz claims that I just didn't go hard enough on SpaceGhostPurrp. We just saw and heard SpaceGhostPurrp and Taz Exclusive arguing. I'm not sure how productive it'll be, but who knows? Maybe there's a lot of solution building going on right there. Maybe I'm just doing everything wrong. Maybe I've got the solutions to life figured out incorrectly. Jazz and Justice with $20 super chat says, how long has Taz been defending women since his domestic violence charges?
I don't sit around crying about that shit. Do we have to talk about it every time? I don't have a problem talking about it. I know bitch ass niggas like you may have never had a conversation about it.
I mean, do you have domestic violence charges or not?
Do your mama have domestic violence charges, nigga? I already told your bitch ass. I've been through issues, nigga. I've had problems. Yes, I was charged. No, I wasn't convicted. If you would like to know more about it, bitch ass nigga, take that up on another time. Today, we're talking about why your pussy ass.
No, it's all right. I'll take it up with you right now. I know you don't respect the mute button, so I have to take you down. The irony of you trying to argue with me about me not defending black women, whilst you having charges for domestic violence on your history, is about as ironic as Rudy wanting to be a football player at Notre Dame. They're just like polar opposites, but somehow you've figured yourself to be this strong character of morality in the black community. Nigga, you're the exact type of dude that we're talking about here. The fuck are you talking about? My record's clean, my nigga. You better check your own self, dude. Your boy Dallas Gaming for $2 says, I enjoy SGP music, but I don't agree with his view. Well, it's hard to just enjoy the music and not agree with his view, but I understand what you're talking about. He's very talented. I like the beats that he made. Very talented. Let's go ahead and bring some more people on really quickly. I've had just about enough of Taz Exclusive, the GOAT. But you know, if I take him down now, people are going to claim that I ran away. So I'll bring him back up. Nunya Biz for the $50 super chat says, and thank y'all so much for the super chats. I'm donating just to see, just to make your haters mad. I appreciate that, Nunya Biz. Thank you so much for everybody donating and contributing.
Listen, dog, they don't want black women protected. Watch. Look these motherfuckers. Look. You want to know about some charges on me? Why you ain't been pulled up that?
I implore everyone to check out Charisma on Command's take on Trevor Noah and his techniques. You will notice they're very similar to THT strategy.
Why you ain't been pulled up the ass, though, fam?
You said what, bro?
Why you wait for a moment when you can try to benefit from it?
Ask me one more time.
I ain't no pussy, nigga. You ain't pussy. If you thought I was abusive to women, why did you wait till it was beneficial to you to ask?
I didn't know you had domestic violence. I didn't know you had domestic violence.
I've been wide open about it to the point where you can interview my baby mom if you want to.
Your baby mom or your wife?
Either
your baby mom or your wife.
I've never had a domestic violence charge against my wife, dude.
Your baby mom.
I had a issue with one woman in my lifetime, and those charges are limited to that time frame. I don't have no issues like that with my wife. And
you got a baby mama. You got baby mama. You got domestic violence charges. Even though
I have multiple baby mamas, but only have one.
What else you got going on? Let's roll the dice here.
Shit, I got bitch ass niggas on the internet pretending to be me. What you mean?
Yeah.
Bitch ass niggas on the internet pretending to have a problem with niggas, but they're the ones with the fake outrage. So what they end up with is a bunch of mammies that they can paint a picture for. So let's talk about it, my nigga. Why do you have to wait? If you believe in protecting women and Taz is abusive, why wait till now?
In my darkest hour, I would rather go homeless in the car for the rest of my life than even try and imitate or even a figment in my mind for 1 second trying to imitate who you are as a human being. I want you to know that with every ounce of my fiber.
But don't you know what that's what this platform is? You don't know that? The only difference between me and you is you just a pussy.
I'll be honest. Listen,
man, you scared to tell hey, bro, you scared to tell the women in your chat.
You said I was trying to
scared to say the truth. I'm not.
Hey, I never watched your channel, bro. Like, I shouted you out. I never watched your channel. I watched Nyla and I watched Cynthia. I didn't watch you, but I tried to give you.
So if I pull up my analytics right now, you ain't in them?
I didn't know who you are.
I didn't know my analytics right now, you ain't in them? I already showed my analytics before, bro. The last time you tried to lie. The last time you lied, I showed my analytics. You're right there, bro. You my fifth most watcher, bro.
All right, I'll take about for a second. Google Analytics do not show who exactly watches you. It does not show what person watches you. It shows the subscribers of the channel that watch you. So if I pop up in Taz's analytics, and thank you Self Love Heals for the $40 super chat, as well for another $20 super chat. Self Love Heals says this is why THT does his interviews the way he does. Right. If Taz is going to do this thing, we'll have a headache for the next 4 hours. There's no point in trying to argue madness with madness. If it's madness, then it's madness. There's nothing I can do or say to change that. We already know it's horrible to say online, but I'm not going to change madness. The only thing I want you to see and experience is madness for yourself. That's what the concept of this interview was supposed to be. But this went way over people's heads, right? But if this is your God, then by all means, unsubscribe and have a good ride. Once again, I don't mean to, and I apologize for anybody that might have actually taken this interview and been like, man, THT really didn't say anything to protect us. That wasn't my goal. You should know that at this time, at this point, whatever it might be, I'm here for the protection of Black women, primarily. That's what I started, and that's what I do my whole channel for, right? That's the point of my channel essentially right now, right? Also for the unification from Black women in the public image and perception of Black women to go up. That's why I let SGP, SpaceGhostPurrp, talk for as long as he wanted to. This is what reporters do when they're talking to terrorists overseas and they're just asking them questions in the most basic form. How is this or whatever? And these are guys that kill people on a day-to-day basis, right? Low abilities. These are horrible people. But when you talk and when you phrase questions in a certain way psychologically, it brings on a certain conversation. And that type of conversation is what you saw with SpaceGhostPurrp, right? Who's still here. Taz is here as well. Everybody else who's in the background right now, I see you. We'll bring you up in 1 second. It's going to take a while tonight. But I need y'all to understand the psychological behind-the-scenes thought and motive of why I talked the way I talked that night. There was a reason. Jazz and Justice, thank you so much. Self Love Heals with the super chat. Jazz and Justice with another $20 super chat says, and there it is. Taz thinks THT wants to be him. He's so jelly. Yeah, I definitely don't. And once again, I would tell Taz if I'd watched him before. I never watched him. You know, I never watched him. And so, hey, I understand. Taz, I understand you think I'm gay. I understand you don't think I'm masculine. I get
crazy, man. This man is literally fifth in my analytics.
Not all that. You said what?
Bro, you right there, bro. You one of my top watchers, bro. Why are you sitting here lying to these women?
Taz, I do not watch any of
one of my top watchers, my nigga. Why are you lying to these women?
I wouldn't even, bro. I wouldn't even.
You use the whole bitch, bro. Like, why would you lie?
Like that. I wouldn't even lie to you on something like that, bro. I really wouldn't. I don't watch any of your.
So YouTube analytics are lying.
There's no analytics to show that I watch.
And you just had that weirdo Psycho Candy up here, bro. Why you still got them weirdos in your fucking space around these women? Psycho Candy is a little weirdo from the Manosphere.
Don't change the
Why is he here?
Let's talk about you and I, bro.
But them pussy ass niggas don't come around my channel. Why they around yours? Psycho Candy.
Let's talk about you and I.
Okay? Around these women, bro.
I'm talking about you and me, all right? You and me. There's no analytics that show who and what users specifically watch your channel. That would be impossible for somebody that has 50,000 subscribers.
So we finna pull it up, my nigga.
There's no analytics that show that. There's none that show that.
All right, we got you. I'm gonna pull it up for you right now. You know what I'm saying? That's the sad part about niggas like you. Had you not kicked me off that one time, you probably would have got a better understanding of not being a dumbass nigga.
All right.
Trying to be fake protective of Black women that you could give a fuck less about. You know what I'm saying? So since you want to be a dumbass nigga right here in front of everybody, we finna pull these analytics and we gonna show your stupid ass who you playing with. Now, if you weren't so dumb, you would have seen. Wait, you ain't see the first video? You ain't see the first one?
No,
I showed them already before. Yeah, I showed it before.
I didn't watch it. I could gather what you were going to pretty much say, and I'm spot on in my assessments at this point. But people told me a lot of what you said anyway, so I didn't have to watch it.
So what did you think I was going to say? What did you think I was going to say?
Everything you're saying now, and then some. I'll give you your credit. You surprised me.
So let me ask you this: when you said that you let them talk, do you think that that's something that you came up with, or do you think that's something Taz has been saying since 2019, which is why he has so much audio of them talking?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know about what you're doing in 2019. I could see how maybe
you was too busy fanning listening to SpaceGhostPurrp. While I was letting them talk, you was listening to SpaceGhostPurrp running around in them spaces. What was your old name before you switched over to try to defend black women? What was your red pill name? As I pull up these analytics, what was your red pill name?
It's always been the same name.
Oh, you was the honest truth back then too?
Yep.
Because I was trying to find some old videos or audios where you was on and whatnot. I just couldn't find nothing. I've been incapable to find anything.
Keep looking. You might find something. It's gonna be hard for you though.
Yeah, no, I ain't looking that hard. So, but again, bro, you had Cynthia name in that title, right? Do you think that you were defending Cynthia, or what was the point? Because you're saying that defending people online don't mean nothing. So why did you tag Cynthia to that video?
Because he was talking about Cynthia.
Right, he was talking about Cynthia. So why did you tag her to the video though?
Because I was talking about Cynthia.
Well, I mean, shit, we sat there and listened to you talking to SpaceGhostPurrp for quite a while before Cynthia's name ever came up. We heard you fanning, you let a few women on, and then finally Cynthia's name came up. But it generally wasn't about the comments that he made, which is my issue. You never asked him about why he said he was going to rape this woman and then held him to a standard of not doing that. You was playing around, putting women back and forth up here. And I'm asking, why would you put women next to this man not knowing what he might say next? Why would you do that?
Right. Yeah. About midway towards the end of the conversation, he said he wasn't going to rape all black women. And he said he didn't want to kill all black women. Now, obviously, take that with a grain of salt, right? But he did apologize and took the video down. So to answer your question specifically, maybe I didn't clear why he said he would rape Sin. So I think that is definitely a question that maybe we should go ahead and ask. You know, I'll agree with you there. I'll agree with you there for sure. I'll agree with you there, right?
Here's the thing.
I didn't ask that.
It was issued, but wait, bro, it was issued as a threat. So there's no question to ask him. See what I'm saying? You turn in a black man that's a problem representing us into an interview. Now I'm telling you, as the person who's saying we're supposedly doing the same things, there's nothing to talk about with that man. Unless you're telling him the FBI will be to see your bitch ass soon. What is there to talk about with him? So
if there's nothing to talk about with him, then why did you talk to him?
Because he popped up on my channel. He just popped up.
So it's right for thee, but not for me, essentially, right?
I didn't sit there and let that man promote himself. I didn't tell that man I was a fan. I didn't let that man call black women bitches. I didn't let that man sit there and be disrespectful to people on my shit. I let him on, but I let his bitch ass know who was in control. Did you let him know who was in control? Or did he tell you what to do? Did he tell you when to kick people off?
He popped up here too. I think the problem.
Bro, he told you 2 different times.
I'll have to take Taz down. He's headache inducing. Park Jim ends world whatever. It says THT, you invited him to your channel. No, I didn't invite him to my channel. I was just as surprised as y'all were in this case that the person we're talking about decided to hop onto the panel. I didn't invite him. I don't know how to invite him. I wouldn't have known how to invite him. Right? Somebody was watching a live and told him, or something along that nature. He's still here in the background. If you want to still ask him questions, I know that obviously this is very bad for a lot of people who don't like the fact that I talk to him, right? That you don't want to hear or speak to him. So we're going to move on here. Chanel's been waiting for a long time. We'll go to Taz in a while, right? And we'll take your votes if you want to talk to SpaceGhostPurrp, if you want to discontinue the conversation and end the story here. It's all up to you guys, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Chanel, what was your take on this entire discussion so far?
First, let me calm down because even backstage, Space Ghost Punk Pussy Perp is being as disrespectful as his video was.
Okay.
I feel like I definitely understand where people are coming from. I understand your point, like you are who you are, so you can only be who you are. So you interviewed him as you. But it did upset a lot of women because I guess you were playing the good cop. Once again, I understand that, but for someone like him, I don't feel like we should give him any type of grace. Like, I understand you're not the rah-rah type, definitely not as rah-rah as Taz. But I mean, if you would have listened to his video, man, the things he was saying, like, and the fact that he came on your panel and just switched it up so much shows how much of a manipulator he is, right? Because the things he was saying, like you could hear in his voice, he was not playing, he was not joking, he didn't have any sense of compassion or anything. And it just seemed like he was being coddled once he got on your panel. And once again, I didn't even expect you to go super hard, but
Right.
kind of like Taz had kind of brought up, I wish you would have, and this is me just wishing, wishful thinking, I wish you would have like played him his audio back. Like, hey, yeah, you're saying this now, but then you said this on your video. Like, yeah, this guy was really talking about walking up to any black woman he saw, grabbing them off the street, raping them. He talked about how much he enjoyed beating women, that he was going to go find a woman and beat her up that night. He was
So
instructing.
let me ask you, Chanel. Let me ask you, what do you want me to say to him, Chanel? How can I correct this?
And once again, I'm not even up here to tell you what to say,
Right.
but I don't even know if you fully understand how it could rub some people the wrong way.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. I one
Okay,
thousand
okay.
percent agree. I 1000% understand how it could rub you the wrong way.
Yeah, just
One
even having him up
1000%.
here now, it's just like, I don't know,
Mhm.
especially, I mean, everyone knows the stats that a large majority of black women have been sexually assaulted in some type of way in their lifetime, right? So just
Right.
having him up here for a second time, like I said, he's even backstage antagonizing the women. Like,
Right.
and the other guys backstage who are supporters of him are antagonizing the women. Um, and one, go
So
ahead.
this is the big question I guess I have, right?
Mhm.
The big question is this: would you rather not hear from or even hear about people, stories, or guys like this, or would you rather hear and see, stories like this? In your case, I guess it'd be the first choice. You don't want to hear about any of this at all, right?
No, 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 no. And I was excited that you actually, I think you probably were the first to actually like even bring the topic to light. I ran to view the broadcast when I saw it in my YouTube timeline.
Uh-huh.
Um
This is a
but I
gaslighting question. Somebody says this is a gaslighting question. I'm sorry. Maybe it is a gaslighting question. Somebody said I'm just intellectually dishonest. Okay, so I'm just truly that
Yeah,
was a
and,
bad
and you
question.
know
Forgive
what?
me.
I feel the pain that you're going through right now because you have a bunch of people in your chat trying to get you to feel what they're
Well,
feeling because
the
obviously.
tough part is I do care. I care a lot. This is why it is frustrating. It's like, dang. I felt like the stream was like, man, it was good. People were able to see, everything that I talk about. I'm gonna take you off of the small screen for a second. People are to see everything I talk about. They're able to see real life examples of how and other people of other races, just like my friend HZME girls were in here. They're able to see how other people, how what's going on in our community, and we're able to hear from our women, yada yada yada. I'll bring you up in a little bit. HZME, you're gonna have to wait for a while. We got a lot of people in the chat, but I thought it was good to be able to see this, so I wanted him to keep talking, to keep speaking the way that he was. I strategically wanted it to be that way for this live stream, and I
But you
thought that was the way
understand,
to
at
go.
at a certain point, it seemed like you were giving him a platform. It,
Right,
it- it's like he was getting the light shined on him instead of getting a foot put up his ass for saying
right,
what he was saying. And once again, that mean I don't know you personally. That may not be your personality, but I just wish someone, except for Cerebral, and I think it was another lady, they did their job.
right.
They understood the assignment. But for everybody else, it was just like, oh, let's handle him with these baby gloves. Like, no, not somebody like that. Like, this dude is a real menace to society. Like, I didn't like I disbelieved his personality on your platform.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm gonna cut you off, because I got to bring you down, and I think it's a good point. This is the last thing I'm gonna say to you. If you're waiting in the background, I'm gonna start taking people down. Okay, Trunks Vert, I gotta take you down. Trunks Vert, you're just too young for this conversation. Chanel, here's my thing. Even if we curse out SpaceGhostPurrp, we remove him, we get him out of here, whatever it might be, he's not the only SpaceGhostPurrp in the hoods. He's not the last one, right?
And you know what? I understand that, but I feel like this could have been, and I'm not even saying, like, once again, I'm not telling you should have just went at his throat or go as hard as Taz would have went at him. But I just feel like, yeah, your platform was, I love that you put him on the people like him on the platform, but I also feel like it didn't highlight a way we should treat people like him. I felt like he got too much respect. He just did.
Okay.
The type of human being he is, he just got too much respect.
Okay.
But thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Chanel. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and go to Moo. $100 super chat from Wave Principal. I appreciate that. $100 super chat from Wave Principal. Thank you so much, Wave Principal, for the support. $100 super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, as you come into the live stream, I'm not sure. I think SpaceGhostPurrp is still in the back, so take this with a grain of salt. Ultimately up to you. If you want to remove him from the back of the chat, press 1. If you want to keep him, press 2. I'll leave it in your hands. Moo, welcome to the conversation. Really quickly, if you can, Moo, what are your thoughts and ideas of what happened on the live stream?
Well, I mean, it's obvious what happened, but I just want to say this, and I want you to listen without cutting me off, because
and Moo, if you can, I'm gonna need you to turn on your camera. Everybody that's on the live panel is actually gonna have to turn on their cameras. I appreciate y'all for understanding. If you're driving, just try and keep it on your face as much as possible. Once again, I want to thank you, Wave Principal, for the $100 super chat. That means the world. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. One, remove him. A couple twos, remove him. Keep on voting. Now, obviously, it's probably going to be remove him, so we'll go ahead and take him down. All right. All right. Go ahead, Moo.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious what happened. We all know what happened. I think the issue is that you really are a detriment to this space, not just because of that stream, but because of your response to it. Because the proper response is, you know what? My bad. I should have handled that differently. But what you did was, when it comes to people like Taz, you can say what you want about him, but Taz is great for this space and this conversation. And for the goal of, if the goal is to protect Black women and give Black men a better perspective on how to do that and how to be better to Black men, Taz is that. Taz is the example. And he's the example because he is a guy that's not afraid to have an honest conversation. And you've shown yourself in this conversation to not be able to do that, because you had a disingenuous conversation with Taz from the get-go. As soon as he started talking, you put SpaceGhostPurrp up there, and it's obvious why you did it. So even like we can go back to the stream you did with SpaceGhostPurrp. Everybody here knows that you was out of line for that. Everybody knows that. Whether your fans tell you or not, we know that you were. But the thing that's worse about it is that right now you haven't apologized once. What you did was, when the last Sherry was on, when she was telling you how she felt and what it did, the first thing you did was ask her, well, what do you think I should have done? And that's some condescending bullshit. And you know it. And what you're going to do with what I'm saying now, is you're probably going to do the same thing and pretend like, well, I was just trying to just let him get it out and this and that. Now, you heard his video. Everybody heard his video, and that's the one you were responding to. From that point on, anybody knows that there is no conversation where we just want to hear his side. We heard his side. People like people like him, they shouldn't. You don't talk to him in some kind of rational way to validate him or to act like he has any other, like it. The only thing that happens to him from there is you talk to him like a piece of shit, like the piece of shit that he is. And if he's talking all that dumb shit about what he's gonna do to a motherfucker, you catch him in traffic and see if you're really about that shit. That's the only two ways you deal with that. So for you to be on here and not even apologize and to keep with this condescending bullshit and acting holier than thou. Oh well, I was just trying to see what he would say. It's bullshit, bro.
I've apologized. I've
Hold on.
apologized. I've
Just right quick.
apologized multiple times, and I've said multiple times I can. No,
You have
hold on,
because
hold on, hold on, hold on,
go ahead,
hold on,
go ahead.
Mukau, hold on, Mukau. I've
They
apologized
don't call me
multiple
that shit,
times.
bro. Don't call me Moo Cow,
I've
man.
apologized
Don't play
multiple
with me, bro.
times.
Don't call me.
I've apologized multiple times. Go find a better nickname then, nigga. I've apologized multiple times, and I've said, you know what? I can understand how that could be misconstrued, right? I've said that multiple times. All right. So, Moo, to the field you go. $10 super chat from Jazz and Justice says, notice how this is about Taz now. Taz wants to be the only one in this space. That's a lot of the time what this space ends up being, right? It's this money, power, control, hungry thing, and that's obviously what we experienced the first time we had a little fallout with some of the same people that I bring back up into the panel. Obviously, I have the choice not to bring these people back onto the panel if I want to, but I bring them and I let them speak for as long as they want to, because if I don't do that, then they'll claim that I'm fake, I'm disingenuous, and I'm just a pandering, right? A pander bear. But either way, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Once again, I can understand how a lot of ladies are feeling a certain type of way about this, right? I completely get it and understand. However, once again, still, there's a reason why I did this. If it offends you, I apologize. If you want to unsubscribe, then by all means, unsubscribe. Find your culture, find your fit. All I say is at the end of the day, make sure you take care of yourself. I'll do my best to take care of you and give you the best advice I know how to do that. That's all I can do. I'm only one man, ladies and gentlemen. Only one man. Only one man, right? If you prefer to follow a domestic violence assaultant than assailant, by all means, go right on ahead. Go right on ahead. I'm arrogant. Perhaps, maybe I am. Cocoa Bean says lame, right? Okay, let's move on. Jasmine is up next. Jasmine, the floor is yours. After Jasmine, we have HZME Girls, then China, then Our Truth. No, HZME, then Our Truth, China, then Eric. Go ahead, Jasmine. The floor is yours. Jasmine, you're gonna have to unmute yourself if you can. Jasmine's out of the building. Sorry, Jasmine. We tried to bring you up. All right, here we go. Wade Principal says Taz has 12 domestic violence charges in his past. And nigga, you ain't perfect. Yeah. All right. Enjoy 12 charges. Scary ass. Yeah. You like getting beat up? By all means, go ahead. Ghost 2000 THT, you kicked him out. I pulled him down and he decided to leave. I told him and his friends that he'd be able to be pulled up if he wanted to come back. And so he's not back yet. HZME Girls. The floor is yours, HZME Girls.
I really appreciate it. It's just, honestly, it's a dumb way of saying spelling homegirls.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
all right.
What I just wanted to get out, like, I might potentially have a little bit of a bias just because, and I'm speaking on musical terms, like, I've been an SGP fan for a while,
Right.
and I've followed him quite a bit, and like including his social media presence and all of that. And just in general, I mean, this isn't, I mean, obviously the first time that he's, spoken about somebody in this manner. It's kind of a commonplace thing in most of his streams. And honestly, putting a serious, critical, and legitimate look into the things that he is saying is, in a way, validating it to him personally.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know SGP, obviously. I can't say anything about his character as a person in real life. But what I can say is just, I mean, he definitely, thrives off of the attention that you get. And while you can definitely have a rational conversation about his comments between two people, who are not, directly involved in the situation, is that he has that sort of emotional investment where, you're talking about it, you're talking about him.
Okay, homegirl, we have to wrap it up, homegirls. I feel you though.
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. But yeah, it basically just my point is that SGP, he's gonna keep saying. The more you talk about him, the crazier shit he's gonna say.
All right.
That's all I'm gonna
All
say.
right. I appreciate that, homegirls. Thanks for joining the panel, man. Have a good one. All right.
I appreciate it, man.
All right now. You too, man. All right. That was homegirls. Good to see homegirls. R-Truth, if you can turn on your camera, R-Truth, I appreciate you. Eric Dickey, you're going to go ahead and go up next. Nia with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Nia. She's the non-rapper, got drilled, Taz, and was spoken to respectfully, THT. It's a win-win, kind of. They have different approaches. 100 emoji sign as well as hands up puzzled emoji sign as to what to do. Yeah, you know, I guess it just depends, right? I had a specific reasoning for why I did that interview the way I did it. And go ahead, Eric. You can bring your camera back up, man. I was going to bring you on the second that you clicked your camera off, right? But you know, right? THT exposed, I suppose. I mean, the thing about it is this is what's comical about it is if you were to like listen to the words that some of these guys say, I mean, if something were to happen to Space Ghost, right? You're going to be the first one that's criminally indicted. You can claim all you want that I'm not masculine by threatening people online. You can claim whatever you want. I'm not masculine because my voice, because I sound gay, because I do this, because I do that. You can claim whatever you want about it. I'm very sincere in my approach and protection of women in my real life, both on and offline. A lot of these people are very different offline than they are online. My life adds up both on and offline. That's why you hear Taz saying something. Oh, I was looking for records. I'm looking for something. He said something along that lines. I don't know. You can search for as long as you want to about records with THT. There's nothing other than what I've told you, which is pretty much everything at this point. There's nothing I have to hide. I have no records. Everything I have, you already know. Everything I have, you already know. Right. Eric, give me 1 second. We'll let you go in one second. A hot ass mess. You're shook. You don't even verbally protect women. That's literally what all the content has been about.
God damn it, bro.
Eric, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, Eric. Jeez.
Oh, you good, bro. I'm watching the game.
Okay, I'll put you on mute for a second. You're coming up. Cynthia G says you don't even verbally protect women. I'm not sure that's what I do right now. You know, if you don't believe that, then by all means. POF says he's in competition with you. That's kind of how the first little incident happened. I was surprised why there was such a problem, right? And I was like, wow, it's interesting. All right, what can you do though? What can you do? Tracy said unsubscribe. Adios, Tracy. Okay, sorry. Eric, go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
You good, bro? You good? Yeah, the whole thing with Perp is this, bro. Like, Perp been saying some wild shit, like that white boy been talking about. Like, that nigga been salty since, like, he got dropped from 4AD. The crazy thing about that nigga is, like, there was, like, some shows of his, like, from back in the past, like, right after, like, ASAP stopped fucking with him and shit, where this nigga will, like, point guns. He will point, like, a loaded gun at the goddamn audience and shit. Like, I actually linked up with that nigga, something like that. Like, at a Golf Money show. It was like he was there, Black Cray was there, all them other niggas. So
Eric,
you know, one of his homeboys was
your connection's a little spotty, bro. It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, my connection.
Man. We'll have to take you down. Sorry, Eric. We'll have to take Eric down. It's a little tough to hear you. All right. R-Truth or China Hoodrich. I see you got your camera on. We'll get you back on in a second. Right. We'll go with China. China, you don't have to turn your camera on. It's all right. China, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly, China. Go ahead.
My phone literally might just about to die. So I caught the playback, and let me tell you, I was at work, but I caught the playback and I was furious. Because first of all, within a couple of hours of this Space Ghost bitch releasing his video about Cynthia, I heard it, I watched that shit, and I'm not even fully in agreement with Cynthia. She gets on my nerves with a lot of things, but a lot of things she's spot on about. But the fact that he would sit up here and threaten her with some rape, threatened to cut her tongue out, her mouth, gouge her eyes out, do all this nasty, vicious, disgusting shit. And this was almost a half an hour video. I was disgusted. I don't care if I don't agree with her. That shit is foul. And I'm sorry, he had to be reported to the FBI. That's bullshit. I don't support violence against women and let alone Black women. I don't care if I do disagree with them. So then when I heard the playback the next day, the fact that you had a show on here, and I listened to that shit while I was at work. And I was disgusted. The fact that not only did you let this motherfucker go on a rant, I was also disgusted with the women who came on the panel. Cause bullshit, that nigga would have got a piece of my mind. I wouldn't have been trying to pacify this motherfucker. He would have scared out his ass. Cause if you notice, as soon as somebody brought up the fact that nigga, what you doing is illegal. These are terroristic threats. Your ass can go to jail and prison for this shit with your ass wide open, getting fucked like you claimed you was gonna fuck Cynthia. Nigga, he bitched up when he heard that white man. That's the fear that should have been in his motherfucking voice. Too many women out here getting hurt and abused for this nigga to be sitting up here on this panel getting freeway to say whatever the fuck he wanted to say. That shit was completely disrespectful. And you did not check that shit at all, period. And then on top of it, you let a white bitch come on this goddamn show and talk some shit about she got a mulatto ass motherfucking son. And because she understands the Black community, oh, Black women, they need to do better. They need to do this and that. The fact that you didn't even cut that shit off, you let that bitch talk her free range, you were completely out of line. Completely out of line. And that shit pissed me the fuck off. So now I gotta try to understand where the fuck you coming from. Where the fuck are you coming from with that shit?
Yeah, I hear you. Well, the reason that I came at it from the, I guess if you want to, disrespectful diplomatic position was because I wanted him to say everything online the exact way that he said it. I wanted this conversation to go exactly the way it did. You know, I didn't check him enough. That's a comment that I get more than anything. And I want to thank ZB for the $50 super chat. Thank you, ZB. I appreciate that. Terrible timing, but if I don't ever read it or call it out, I just want to show that respect. It's $50. And so somebody gave me $50. So flame me if you will. I mean, at this point, it's not the worst I've done, right? Anyways, so thank you, ZB, once again. I appreciate that. So yeah, I decided to take a more interviewer approach, right? I've flamed plenty of times in the past. Y'all have seen me flame guy after guy after guy after guy after guy. I flamed plenty of guys before, y'all, right? I didn't do it this time. I decided
a specific instance, and I'm sorry to be rude. I do not mean to be rude, but I'm sorry. That is a specific instance that motherfucker need to be checked. Okay? He needs to be checked hard, and he needs to feel threatened. He needs to understand that his ass is gonna be sitting underneath the fucking jail. That's what the fuck he needs. He needs to have the fear of God in his ass. And that shit was not brought on, not only by you, the host. You gave him free range, and you did give his ass props at the beginning, which was crazy. Crazy, right? But then the women who came on the show, coddling his motherfucking ass, and every time Cerebral brought it, I don't know. I know of her channel. I don't watch her channel. I have nothing against her, but no, didn't nobody bring nothing hard on his ass. And that's the problem.
Hold on. Cerebral was very eloquent.
No, it wasn't brought hard enough.
Well, China. Come on, China. Come on. Let's all stay on the same side somewhat. All right. Cerebral is very eloquent in her response to him, and I think everybody did a very good job, to be honest with you. What exactly?
We don't need eloquence in a situation like this. This is what I'm saying. These are detrimental situations. Motherfuckers like him are roaming around the streets right now. I live in Vegas, Pimp City in this bitch, okay? Motherfuckers like him come a dime a dozen. They hurt women and young girls all the time. We don't need eloquence. These niggas need to understand there's repercussions for fucking with Black women. And that's the shit that they do not understand right now. Fuck coddling these bitches. I do not give a fuck. I got
this is my thing.
Prison time right now. I do not give a fuck. Fuck you. Okay? Let alone a motherfucking stranger.
So China, give me 1 second, China. Give me 1 second. Riza agrees with you, says men are supposed to check men, period. Yeah, I definitely 1000% agree. 1000% agree with y'all, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I do what I do on my show 24/7. If you've been watching, I've checked guys before. I continuously take guys, remove guys from the stream, cut guys off. I've been disrespectful. I've been arrogant. You see it in the comment section. I can be, and I've been most of the time. This is the one instance I decided to have a different approach for multiple reasons. One, so we could elongate the conversation, all right? B, because, or two, a lot of people were in the panel and they wanted to say things to him and comment to him. So I decided to not say as much this time, y'all, all right? Should I have checked them? Sure, definitely. I can agree with that. Check them more, 1000%. I agree. I apologize for that. But once again, I need y'all to understand the bigger point here, and I understand that I'm supposed to check the man. Sharia says I dropped the ball here. That's great. I could argue all day, just like Taz did. Arguing's Arguing is great, and it's good to see that there are guys out there that are going to fight for you online. That's good, and I 1000% believe in that. My bigger concern and my bigger takeaway from this video, the reason I had this go the way I decided to let it go, right? Because I decided to let it go this way. The reason that I chose to let this go the way I let it go is
How
because
do
I
you
just want to.
justify letting that white woman though come on the
China,
panel? She has
China,
no.
just because China, and listen, I got this comment. I got this comment too. We're gonna add some more people. Hold on, y'all.
Thank you.
I got this. I got this comment too, and thank you, China, for your question. My thing is this, y'all. Eventually, over time, right? I want this channel to start to become bigger and popular, right? Like Mr. Man that we're not going to mention, like other big YouTube channels who have a wide a range of races of people. Now, obviously, I understand China's point. She's trying to say this is in the conversation that a white woman who doesn't understand naturally a lot of the terms or a lot of the nuances of the relationship or of the community that we speak about. I understand and I get that 1000%, right? I get that. I let her speak because A, she was entertaining to me. I thought she sounded funny, and I thought she made for a good bit on the radio show at that time, right? I didn't really apply much credence to her. I don't think anybody did, but I don't want to start becoming a racist just because she's white, right? Let's not turn into the same people we often speak about, right? That's my biggest thing here. Let's try to keep it. Now, listen, I understand what you're saying. Flame him. I didn't flame him enough. I can live with that. I completely understand that. I empathize and I apologize. I really do. Trust me. This is very important to me. I want y'all to know this. They're going to say, oh, it's important because he makes money. No, it's important because I actually do care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't say anything. I would just move on like this never happened. But it does bother me quite a bit. So having said that, her being white necessarily isn't the issue here. I just want to make that very clear distinction. However, it was very apparent that obviously, yes, after she talked, she didn't have much to add to the conversation directly. Right? I get that. I understand that. But that's where the channel's going. We're going to have people of all different backgrounds eventually one day. That's what this channel is going to be. I'm not going to always be talking about relationships. But thank you for your question, China. I'll have to take you down. Let's go ahead and move on. We got Regina, we got Chanel, we got Queen Mercy, and we got Hood Rich. Hood Rich, I know I know you're one of his fans, so we can't bring you up right now. I apologize for it. Give me 1 second. Our Truth actually is supposed to be up next. After Our Truth, we're going to go let Regina go. Our Truth, go ahead. The floor is yours. Our Truth, I can't hear you if you're saying anything. I can't hear anything at all. Yeah, I mean, it's so quiet. It's so quiet. You wouldn't believe how quiet it is. If you have a microphone, then turn your microphone up. Or pull it out of your phone.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know, to be honest. Try it again one more time. No, I'm not hearing you. I'm sorry. It's just it's not coming through loud at all. Okay, sorry. All right. Yeah, that's not. Try to give it a whirl. Let's go ahead and go on to see who Chanel was already on. Regina Redemption. Okay, we'll go with Regina. Regina, go ahead. The floor is yours, Regina.
Hello. I've been on here once before, but I just wanted to share my thoughts of everything that's going on. I am 19 years old, and I'm very disappointed with the way the adults on this platform are handling this situation. I understand this dude was very out of line. He was very demented. He's a degenerate. He has no soul whatsoever. You going at him like him was not going to solve a problem whatsoever. I like the way you handled it, in my opinion. It was as if you were an FBI agent trying to get into the mind of a serial killer, child rapist. Or I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but
yeah, you're fine. Go ahead.
That's just how I felt like you handled the situation. You've handled it, I guess, diplomatically. You know, not everyone can just sit here and argue with this dude back and forth. Like, that's not going to do anything. Fighting with fire isn't always going to be the solution. And I get it. You know, he's not going to change. You could have yelled at him all day. He was not going to change.
No, he wasn't. And I think you brought up a great point, and I appreciate that, Regina. Thank you so much for hopping up. I appreciate your time. Okay.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too, Regina. And this is why I said what I said about the mention of the white woman earlier. We have to be careful, y'all. And you know, once again, if this is not your message, then by all means, unsubscribe, turn off your notification bells. Continue to further hate comment. You'll be blocked. Right. I'll make sure I personally go through every single one of the comments and block you myself, no matter how many accounts it takes. I'll dedicate my time to that, even though we have mods that do that 24/7. Shout out to the mods. We're gonna bring up Redemption God next. Redemption God, please up or I guess walk into your camera if you can. I feel like we talked to you already, Redemption God. Anyways. Yeah, these folks want action 24/7. You know, I understand. Once again, I can get and understand that, hey, you want me to go harder on him and just be more tough on him and hold him more accountable. He said a lot of horrible things. I absolutely understand. I really do. I understand. I can see how, yeah, I dropped the ball there 1000%. But what she said is absolutely true. At some point or another, we got to talk about the real nature of this, and this is why I wanted to go ahead and take that angle that she talked about, taking that intellectual perspective, seeing something just unravel in front of your eyes that you might not have seen before, right on live. I think that's why so many people found it interesting, because it is shocking to see somebody just it is shocking to hear somebody just talk like that on live, right? It's one of the reasons why I kind of did it, right? What can you do? Let's go ahead and move on. Redemption God, I guess you're not going to hop into the camera, but go ahead. The floor is yours.
I don't. But do I have to?
No, you don't have to. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was on the panel that night. Do you remember?
Vaguely.
I read the code. I read the codes. Remember? I read the codes of the time that he would get for what he's done.
Oh, okay. No, I don't even remember that.
Yes, according to Florida statute, the threats that he's made online could get him up to 15 years in prison.
Wow. Well, that's huge right there. And that's huge because, yeah, once again, it's him saying it online versus us looking at a black screen, right? That's big. That's very big.
Well, the biggest thing that I wanted to ask you, and actually I support your channel. I like your channel. I did a review on your channel. You inspired me a lot. But I wanted to ask, did you report him?
No, I haven't even reported him yet, to be honest with you.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah, I'm honest. To a fault at times, but I'm honest. That's the one thing I'll be able to say, honestly. I'm honest.
Well, I reported him.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And bring on the next level of flame for me not reporting him at this point. Jazz and Justice for $10 says Taz is going to make 100 live streams about you this week and months to come. Yeah, probably at this point.
I don't have no flame for you. I think that you're a nice gentleman. You know, sometimes some things need to be handled the Taz way, whoop your ass way. Now, SpaceGhostPurrp is a Taz. He needs Taz. You too gentle. SpaceGhostPurrp, or whatever the hell, you know, he is beyond gentleman-like.
Right.
He's beyond being a gentleman too. But you did good by extracting the info. You extracted good information that could be used.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. You know, at some point or another, you know, it doesn't matter. If the video had 1 million views, but I didn't report it myself, then it doesn't matter because the 1 million views. I mean, 1 million people could report them, and it's my
I said
platform.
good
But of course,
information.
No. I know. I hear you. I'm just trying to prove a point here. I think that at some point or another, there's no winning to this thing, right? Hey, he got 1 million views, but did you report him? No. Oh, okay. Well, did you report him? Yeah. Okay. And
it
starts to become
matter. You had how many?
Right.
You had almost 1,000 people in that chat.
I know. But I'm just saying, it starts to become this ghost chase type thing where you're just like, okay, well, did you do this?
It's a lot of women that reported him.
Like, all right,
no,
cool,
that's not.
cool,
I'm not worried about
cool,
that. It's a lot of women that has reported him.
Right. I know that. I know that. There's a lot of people that reported because I'm the one that uploaded the video, you know, and so I'm not trying to be cocky or arrogant, but I hate that sometimes people can try and phrase a question to where it minimizes the effect that you actually had on the outcome of the situation. The reason that the video is taken down to begin with is because he said he was going to take it down at the end of our conversation, and he did that, right? So I'm happy that there are no comments celebrating him joking about going out and cutting the throats of Black women. I am happy about that, right? I really am. But aside from that, the reason that there's even evidence to begin with in the first place is because I decided to have a conversation in the manner in which I did. So the very essence of you being upset at me is the reason why there is evidence to begin with that you're able to
I'm
read
not
off.
upset with
So
you.
I'm not saying just you specifically. I'm just saying in general, right? It's a catch-22 is what I'm trying to say.
I
It
help
comes with
you
one side and
build
the
on
other.
that evidence. I help build on that evidence. Don't worry, because listening to
I
your
appreciate
live made me spring into action. But listen, I don't play because I am a domestic violence survivor. Now let me tell you something. I don't play. I do not play. Listen, action speaks louder than words. And I don't let folks tell me what to do. I like Taz and I like you. Now, ain't nobody gonna tell me who I can like and who I can't like. I like both of y'all. And I appreciate you and all your hard work. And I'm gonna go now.
Thank you so much, Redemption. Let me show y'all something about this analytics. I'm going to show you the analytics myself because I think y'all need to see this just to think that, just to understand that what I'm talking about is what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you how the engagement goes. Your engagement or your audience, right? Your engagement or your audience. All right. So let me show you this. This is what your analytics look like, right? I'm going to try my best not to show pertinent details. So here we go. Share screen, Chrome tab, channel analytics. Here we go. All right. Other channels your audience watches. Cynthia G, Tanya TKO, Paris Milan, Mahogany Pink, Real Talk with Yanni. Hold on, let me make it big so you can see this. Right. Themis and Thoth, Nyla's Vibes. There's Nyla, right? Other channels your audience watches. Not you. Your audience watches. Right. Keywords. Ion X, Divested Zealot, Chris Logic, Chrissy, I Am Aloho, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Simply Said. There's another little tab over here. When your viewers are on YouTube, it'll say that. Subscriber bell notification, other videos your audience watched, right? But it doesn't tell you what video it is, or it doesn't tell you what subscriber it is. It doesn't say, oh, I Am Eloho watched your video today. It doesn't tell you that. That would be endless amounts of data that YouTube would have to pay for. That would be ridiculous. It doesn't say who watched your video. It says what channel watched your video, right? But you don't know who watched it. Not everybody on my channel watches O'Shea Duke Jackson or Taz or whatever it might be. You can believe me if you want. You can don't if you don't. Or create your own YouTube channel and look it up for yourself if you think I'm lying. Tell you what, if you can find a tab that shows the users that watch you, I'll cash app you the entire rest of the money that I earn for my YouTube analytics for the rest of my life. If you can find that tab, I'll cash app it to you. Everything that I earn for the rest of this channel's life, I'll pay you that. As of right now on the YouTube, because I don't want you to wait for a year and upgrade YouTube and then be like, oh, look, they put a feature in here where you can see everybody watching your channel. As of right now, if you can find a feature or a page where you see the people that watch your channel by user icon, and it says how much time they've been watching your channel from their YouTube username itself, I'll give you the rest of the money that this channel addresses, this channel makes. It doesn't exist. So keep ghost chasing. Let's move on. Linlin's in the building. After Linlin, we're going to go with Bria. After Bria, we're going to go with Queen Mercy. Go ahead, Linlin.
Hi, Truth. I know you're kind of in the hot seat tonight. I don't know how you feel about that. You know, I support your channel. I was on the panel when Space Dump was there, and, you know, I kind of got definitely very emotional during it. The things that he said were very upsetting. Someone else asked a question that I had on my mind too, so I won't ask that, which was, did you report him? Because I tried to comment multiple times in your in the comment section afterwards for like how you can report that piece of little evilness there. And I noticed that the comments kept getting deleted, like as soon as you mention FBI or try to provide the links and whatnot. But you can definitely Google how to report and give FBI tips for that man. I still believe that he should get reported. And I hope that multiple people continue to report him as I have. I guess my question for you is, do you honestly think that do you honestly think that his change of heart was sincere? Because I find it very, 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 very hard to believe. And I don't think that he was sincere. I think that all of that was, as the kids say, capping. I think that what we were witnessing was Tekashi 6ix9ine on the Breakfast Club when the FBI was closing in, and he started basically crapping his pants when he realized that he was in serious, serious deep waters. And I think what Space Dump attempted to do was come on and try to clean his image up because he was sweating and crapping his pants, because at the end of the day, he doesn't want that penitentiary time. So I am really asking you, like, do you really think that he was being honest with his supposed change of heart?
I don't know. I guess the bigger question is, and no, I don't think he does, but I think the bigger question is this: if the outcome ends up being what it ends up being, then don't you think that that's a victory at the end of the day?
What do you mean? What outcome? You mean
So
like jail time?
if he goes to jail, if we blow this situation up enough people write about it, get to talking about it, all of a sudden he's got police knocking at his door. They come to arrest him because they see the videos, they see all the evidence, they've compiled a lot of back stuff, whatever it might be, and everything goes perfectly well. Then obviously we can say that this had some kind of positive effect. So, well, I guess the biggest thing I'm saying is let's just keep on pushing this forward and seeing this thing through. And at the end of the day, if it works out, then it worked out, right?
Absolutely. And one last thing.
Yeah.
What do you take away from this situation, and would you do things differently going forward, or I guess what do you take away from this? And I'll hop off after this.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing to take away is that you can never really make everybody, proud. You can't please everybody. And one way that some people do certain things is not another way that people are going to do other things, right? And there's always going to be somebody to give you that push back to your pull in the tug of war of life or YouTube content creation. I think that in this particular case that I definitely do validate and understand a lot of the different tugs or pushbacks that I got for my positions. I completely understand that 1000%. I think the bigger issue that I have is just trying to really convey and get people to understand that I'm being sincere. And that's really frustrating for me because there's no way that I could really show you or tell you or remedy a situation that really ends up being, in my mind's something that ends up progressing what all of us essentially want, which is to get legal matters involved and to do this and to do that and to finally start to have this conversation of getting him actually removed off of the streets. I'm happy to be a part of that, right? I just hate the fact of the matter that even if that was to happen, I would still be looked at in a negative light because I didn't quote unquote handle a certain responsibility or fulfill a traditional role of masculinity. So that can be very difficult in that aspect because even though we're both playing this game of chess, I just decided to play this one particular match in a very different type of manner. And it seemed like everybody forgot for a second I was on their side. They forgot I was THT for a second, and it's a bit throwing. It can throw you off a bit. It can jar you a little bit. Because you have to re-identify, who's in your camp and who's in your camp amongst you for you and who's not for you, right? And so that's going to be kind of going forward, who's for you and who's not for you. And my position is going to stay the same. I'm not going to change. I'm always going to be exactly who I am. It just makes things more difficult, I guess, is the bigger thing. It makes things more difficult. It makes you reconsider things. It makes you rethink about your tactics. It makes you re-question yourself. It makes you relook at yourself and really ask yourself, like, dang, maybe they're right. Maybe I should stop doing this, right? Maybe I'm not saying this right. Maybe I really did mess up. Maybe I need to just take a step back. Maybe I need to just let them have it. Maybe I'm not in the right place right now. And so you start to kind of go through all these processes and it can start to jar you. But that's what happens naturally to all of us when you really value the opinion of a group of people, of a group of human beings, whether it be your parents, your best friends, your youth pastor. You value the opinions of people that you care about. And so I just been thinking these past couple of days, like, damn, maybe I just completely dropped the ball. And I didn't think I did, but even so, I think the problem that I still have is even when I try and tell you or come from a certain perspective or angle on the conversation of trying to explain myself and also explaining why and how I understand why y'all might feel let down, it's that I get less love back from the people who don't understand me than the people that I might not have understood in the first place. So I'm willing to extend the olive branch here, but it's like I get a lot more heat and anger back. So it's kind of like there's no solutions that even want to be had in our conversation, let alone a conversation that thousands of other people have seen at this point, right? Which once again was one of the goals of why I made the video, so women can understand that if you are out here in the world, there are people who are out here who are out here, right? Who are out here for real. So I did it for a lot of reasons. I thought I was making the right plays and being the smart detective in this case, but I ended up getting flame grilled. So, it is what it is. I guess you can try and correct the mistake and not make it again.
I will just say from hearing you, hearing that follow up, I can understand where you're coming from for sure. I was definitely like in my feelings in that first stream, and I've calmed down a lot from there to where I can be more, a little bit more objective. And I will say, I know I don't understand what it's like to have your platform. Like you are a one-man show right now, and no one's perfect. So hopefully, grace is given, and the proof is in the pudding because there's a lot of streams that we've done where we have given the fire and brimstone, and you can't always take that approach all the time. So I can kind of understand where you were coming from this time around. And I think at the end of the day, the proof is going to be in your work. So the people who stick with you are going to stick with you. So anyway, it is what it is, and it's just another hill to climb and get over. So anyway, I'll leave it to the rest of the people who want to come up, and I'll be in the chat. Good night.
Good night, Lynn. I appreciate that. Cerebral, I missed your super chat, Cerebral. I saw it for a second and then I just forgot about it. So forgive me, Cerebral. I know you said something. I'm looking at the live stream right now, and so Cerebral, if you wanted to say something again, forgive me. Hey, Santi TV, ladies and gentlemen. Santi TV is a black female firearm 2A specialist. Subscribe to her channel and start getting interested in firearms and legal protection if it's legal in your state. Santi TV, she is absolutely amazing, and her live streams are hilarious. Santi, and I know I'm going to get flamed for once again saying females. Forgive me, women, forgive me. I'm sorry. I'm just trash. I'm getting destroyed right now. But Santi TV, I always love watching your live stream, Santi. I hope all is well, and you take care of yourself. She's awesome. Santi's hilarious. So Santi TV. Cerebral, I'm looking for your comment. I'm going to bring up another person that's in the back stream right now. Cerebral, I'm trying to look for your comment once again. I'm sorry I missed it. I should have seen it. If you want to hop up, Cerebral, you can. Okay, let me go ahead and bring up some more people. Here we go. 585 people. Sorry, y'all. I know I'm taking time right now. I'm just trying to do things right. Ghost 2000 says, this is what I've been saying. Not everybody's going to react the same way. Just because Tags went full gangster mode against SGP doesn't mean THT has to do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, the people, the people that I know that were the biggest gangsters that I met in my life didn't say much. That's the people that I met. I don't know. Crystal says, I think the glasses are protective. No, it's because I sleep in my contacts every night. And my eyes are super, super, super sensitive right now because I haven't taken my contacts off in like 2 weeks. So, yeah, I need to wear them because the light is bright. Henry Frick, $50, said, you didn't drop the ball. Thank you, Henry. Some black women don't understand what real protection looks like because they have never seen it. Not everyone rants like Taz. The Secret Service doesn't get in their feelings. Speak softly and carry a big stick. Yeah, definitely. And I appreciate the $50 super chat, Henry. I'm going to get flamed for thanking you because of the comment obviously referring to black women don't understand what real protection looks like because they have never seen it. Obviously I want to be very careful with how we're saying that. I understand with what you're trying to say. But yeah, once again, for sure, I think that it can be in this way. And ladies, I know that this can obviously sound and it can, be taken as extremely offensive. right? Definitely, it can be extremely offensive, but it's kind of like likening. I don't even want to say that really. I think the best way to describe it is once again kind of revisiting this masculinity conversation, and that is that masculinity can be perceived in a lot of different ways, right? So I guess in the most stereotypical, prototypical type of masculine way, yeah, maybe I'm not that guy. Obviously, I'm not that guy. I don't have a banging deep voice. I'm not extremely tall. I'm not super, super, super swole yet. I'll be swole in about 6 months, so check up with me. I'll be swole. But I'm not the prototypical masculine guy, right? But I mean, don't get me effed up. Like I legitimately take care of myself and my loved ones. I mean, I'm not trying to ask myself on live or anything, but I responsibly carry, right? And I don't responsibly I responsibly take care of all of my people and all of my loved ones, right? I don't have any problems with people, nor will any of the women in my family have any problems with people messing with them, right? They will never have that problem. They'll be able to defend themselves, and if the chance comes where they can't defend themselves, then I will be headed over, locked and loaded legally to take care of the situation if that ever comes down to it, right? And that's not even a question. That's not even a question. So talking about a lot of different things. CC Rose, black women, definitely go get your carry license for sure. For sure. If you're in Texas, we have constitutional carry, and that means you can carry AK-47 pistols as well as AR pistols in your backpack, so long as they're shorter than 10.5 inches from barrel length on, beginning to end, 10.5 inches. You can carry a pistol, AR or AK-47 in your backpack. And yeah, welcome to Texas. Right, welcome to Texas, as well as a normal pistol. Check your legalities, ladies and gentlemen. I do not advocate for illegal carry, but if you have a nice backpack like I do, you can carry legally in a much different way. Let's go ahead and bring up some more people here. Queen Mercy, the time is yours. Queen Mercy, I appreciate you. We'll try and keep it a little quick. After Queen Mercy, Bria, and then after Bria, we're gonna go ahead and go with Yakub. Yakub, we can't go with you. Go ahead, Queen Mercy.
Hey THC, I won't be long. After you made your video, you know that we had an exchange because I didn't like when Misty came on and stuff like that, but you explained your reasoning why. Because as we're growing, our platform has to diversify, right? Another thing that came to me is that Malcolm X and Martin Luther King moved differently. They both had intentions for black people, but their styles are different. So some people, if they didn't like Martin Luther King, they went with Malcolm. When people, like in the Bible, it was Paul, Saul, the disciples. People chose their own paths and where they went. So the thing is, with the content creators and the differences, you all guys have a purpose. You guys are all contributing in your own way. But when there's a disagreement, it would be real nice to talk without the screaming and yelling, because truly nothing does get accomplished. Even back in the day with the Panther movement, the civil rights movement, even though they were different and had opposing views, they were able to still talk and still talk shit about each other when they got to their own platforms. And that's all I got to say.
Thank you, Queen Mercy. And my biggest thing is this, is that at the end of the day, I understand defending. And once again, I can completely admit that I dropped the ball there. I understand, and I completely get that. That's not how I left the stream, but I understand how that ladies felt that way. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate that. It's good to see Joanne in the building, as well as having a channel membership. I understand completely. Crystal, yeah, I'm going to take care of my eyes for sure. I'm going to go get a pair of glasses tomorrow. I've been saying that forever. The bigger thing is this. I understand y'all wanting me to protect you online, but please, if that's the problem that you really have with me, don't worry about protecting you online as much as I want you to worry about protecting yourself offline. All right, me protecting you online. If you feel that I messed up and I just did not do what I was supposed to do, then by all means, I can take that fire. But and the opposite end of the spectrum, conversely, I would want to make sure that you protect yourself offline. Start thinking once again about safety. Bear spray, pepper spray, safe defense, tasers, small legal not pocket knives, 2A, right? So hey, be mad at me all you want to. The reason that I had them on was just to show you that there are legitimate, credible threats out here, and that they just do not care or have any blatant regard for any type of decency whatsoever. I felt it was going to be an interesting type of case study. I thought that there'd be some type of enjoyment that we got from doing a different style of episode. It didn't work out that way. I have royally heard it at this point, like royally heard it, royally heard it, royally heard it. Louis Jabouin says it's an ongoing issue, but the pathetic behavior of that interview. I'm sorry, but the pathetic behavior of that interview was pathetic. It's redundant, but I hear what you're saying. I guess you needed the views. No, I don't need the views, Louis. Once again, I don't know what videos are going to do well and what videos don't do well. We don't know that as content creators. Videos you think are going to do great, they don't do great. Videos you think that are stupid and they'll do really well. There's no telling. Nobody can make a viral video all the time. It's very hard. The ones that do end up being very rich YouTubers. Nia X says I got a 6-hour P365. That's a good one. It's a good 550, good 600 spent right there. I think it's 12 or 13 round capacity and a double stack, but it's a super slim magazine grip. Very nice. Pause right there, right? I'm gonna get destroyed for that. Bria, welcome to the panel. Bria, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi, Bria.
Hello.
Hi.
So I've literally spent 10 minutes in the background of this live arguing with supposed good black men about what was said by SpaceGhostPurrp. Like, my thing is this. It's like y'all want us to like stop talking about y'all, stop supposedly bashing y'all, but then you guys make victim blaming comments and gaslight about the shit that y'all do to us. Like, I don't understand.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so in the private chat, SpaceGhostPurrp is literally arguing with me and another woman about domestic violence against black women.
Well, yeah, I mean, to be quite honest with you, I don't know if there's any hope for SpaceGhostPurrp, right? I mean, let's be honest, right? Once again, I want y'all to understand, yelling at him, screaming at him, it can go so far, and I understand publicly defending black women's honor. I get that. Publicly defending women's honor. I get that. Once again, I missed the ball. I can understand that. Is it going to change him? No. Now, should I still do it and come hard at him? Pause. Yeah. Hey, I missed the ball. But moreover, I just wanted it to be a different experience this time. I wanted the viewers to be able to share and speak for as long as they wanted to. I let everybody speak for quite a long time, right? I just didn't say I took a back seat in the situation. But having said that, as far as you going back and forth with him behind the scenes, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if SpaceGhostPurrp is ever going to become a reformed human being. Most likely not, right? Obviously not. And no matter who talks to him, it doesn't matter. Most likely not that much change is going to happen. But if one woman can walk away leaving that conversation saying, you know what, I think I might go ahead and look at guns tomorrow, look at knives tomorrow, then that's a win for me. That's a win for me. So, I understand a lot of different angles. I just hope that some people try and understand me as much as I try and understand them.
No, I really mess with your channel. I've been watching you for about I've been watching you for a while, like a couple of months, and I do respect the fact that you do stand up for black women, but at the same time, when I was in the live last week, I noticed that you didn't go at Space Ghost as hard as you went at Taz, in my opinion. Like, you could have taken him down when he started cussing women out and calling women bitches and stuff like that, but you didn't.
Right.
And that kind of, I'm not going to lie, that kind of made me side-eye you a little bit.
Yeah. Why, it felt like I was just trying to maintain an agenda or something?
I mean, I won't say that, but I don't know. I feel like you could have said more. You could have done more, because he was definitely very disrespectful, and he's still very disrespectful, and he's a pussy ass bitch.
Okay. Well, definitely. I think that, you know, a lot of people agree with you, like Kimberly here saying I had much respect for THT, but tonight he proved me to be, he's a typical black man. I should have known better. You know, hey, I think that you have a lot of support as far as your respect waning. And I completely understand that. You know, I hate that it has to be that way. But I completely understand that, you know. So once again, to the people who feel like, you know, the quality or my characteristics or persona of a person changed a bit, I have to put you on mute. Then I understand you leaving, and I truly do wish you the best on your way out. Right? I'm not going to hold anybody here who wants to be, you know, in a negative area. Nor will I, you know, assume or want you to hold your spot in a negative area as well. I mean, if I were you, I would completely just head off and leave. So I think the biggest thing and the biggest fad is trying to take as many people away with you. And so enjoy doing that while you can. Uh, I'll get to the blocking after the live stream ends at this point, because it's a little difficult when there's so many messages to just block people. But trust me, you're not going to stop what the overall message of this channel is, regardless. Or I heard the word was irrespective, I believe is actually the correct word, instead of irregardless, which isn't a word. Irrespective of what your personal feelings or beliefs are. So I wish you the best once again on your way out. And having said that, I look forward to at least trying to become a better person in the future, to not anger all of you, and to hopefully continue to uphold, you know, what y'all believe in me for at some point, right? What y'all believe in me for at some point. Crystal, why am I blocking people? Crystal asks, why am I blocking people? Only the negative people, right? Only the people who are just beyond negative all the time, right? Who claim that they hate me, yet they comment, or they're still watching me, or they've been watching for the past hour and 49 minutes, only to keep on saying things like they hate, they hate, they hate, they hate, they hate. So eventually I block out. I don't mind you saying a couple comments like THT, I don't agree with you. I'll even highlight your comment and I'll put it on the stream so everybody can see it. Right? Because if I don't do that, they're going to claim I'm avoiding the situation, or I'm running away, or I'm pandering, or I'm acting like I don't see the comments, or whatever it might be. The excuses never end. There's always something, right? So you can't win, right? But I'm blocking people because A, I can, and B, I'm blocking people who are bringing negative energy, right? Queendom, no. You'll probably never hear me say that, Queendom. Not at all. Sherry Sanders says, so you blocking everybody who doesn't agree? No, that's not true, because I'm not going to block you, Sherry, and I don't block everybody that doesn't agree, right? Only if you say certain things on a certain negative level. You can not agree all you'd like to. There are plenty of people who don't agree with me on this channel who are not blocked. Cerebral, sorry, Cerebral, I did not see you in the back. Forgive me, Cerebral. And a lot of people were particularly angry that I didn't say anything in defense of you. So publicly, I'd like to apologize to you as a man. That doesn't mean anything after the incident is already finished. What use is a man in this case, right? But I appreciate you, and I just wanted to let you know publicly. Nani says we are disappointed, and so I have to. What honor is left in the situation, I suppose. You can remain.
Thank you. I didn't catch everything from the beginning. You know, I heard the screaming match, and I feel the energy, you know, the anger, the disappointment, the sadness. And, you know, shout out to all the ladies too who shouted me out and said I need to rest in my femininity. So I was in the background. I'm not going to get between the men arguing with each other. I think, you know, lessons have been learned tonight. You know, I won't get involved tonight with this, but you know, I hated hearing all the screaming and everything like that. Um, okay. You said that you wanted someone to help you to be able to see your analytics. There is a way to see exactly who's been on your page. Um, I have the answer if you still want to know. And I know other content creators might be listening, so this will also help you if you want to see who's watching you. Do you still want to know?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, I'm not 100%, but I believe I'm 90% right. You go to your YouTube studio.
Okay, let me go. Hold on. Okay, YouTube studio.
And under your picture on the left, you will see analytics, and you click on analytics. Then click on the audience tab. Right. No, click audience, and then up top, click advanced mode.
Okay.
And when you scroll down, you'll see a list and click on channel pages. And when you click on channel pages, I believe that's the list. It shows you how many times they've been viewing you and everything like that.
Channel pages. Oh, more. Okay, I got you. Channel pages. I don't see a channel pages screen, but I'll definitely look. I'll definitely look for it off the screen. If you can, Cerebral, just send me a screenshot of the channel pages section, or I'll probably end up googling it. But send me a screenshot of it
Okay,
on the email if you can, because I don't have that.
if you didn't click on audience, there is advanced mode. I know that's up there, and then you click on audience, and then at the bottom it'll be a list of things, and channel pages will be like the third thing you can click on. But
Yeah, no, I'm in audience and advanced mode, but I'll get it from you here in a little bit for sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's usually underneath that graph. You have to scroll down a little bit to see it. But yeah, you said there's some type of what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get $100 tonight for this.
Oh, well, I mean, if we can find it, I'm not seeing it. I'm still honestly looking for it right now, but if we can find it, yes, yeah, $100. Well, I have to keep true to my word, right? I have to give you the rest of the earnings forever in this case. I still don't actually think that is what we're referring to, but I'm interested to see exactly what you're referring to though too. So never say never, right? Never say never. I just wanted to kind of get you to come back on though and really follow up on the situation. I know a lot of ladies were, I got a lot of emails, and you were the main topic of discussion, obviously, and a lot of ladies really, really
I
supportive
thank
and
you
love what you
all
said.
for the love. The lady in the chat you said that you saw the replay. Listen, when I talked to that man, my skin was hot. I was red. I mean, I gave it to him the best I could that night. Maybe I should have threatened to cut off his balls or something, but I gave it to him. But some women did say in the chat it should have been, more men to have that type of anger and check him. So, I felt he deserved more from me. Maybe I gave the best I could. I checked him. And the way I speak, this is just how I sound. Some people who
Right.
might think, do I sound angry enough, or
I
this
think
is how I sound.
I think what Tech Biz is saying is that you shouldn't have had to even be in that position to begin with. That I should have been the one that was checking him, right? That you shouldn't have had to essentially get out of your, your feminine element, right? In this case, and I understand that. I understand what they're saying, and I agree with them for sure, right? I definitely agree. I think that I was looking at the situation from a different perspective, in the perspective that I'm not going to always be there, right? And so I'm just going to let them see exactly what is out here in this world, and so I just let things go, So that was my method for doing it.
I see where you're coming from too. As a host, you want, sometimes when men call in my show, sometimes I let them talk just so the world can see what we're dealing with. They will talk. You'll see. They'll dig their own little hole. I see all sides. I see where you wanted to be a host. This you didn't get too emotionally involved. You let him do some talking, but I think as the man, they wanted you to curse his ass out. Basically, I mean, what we heard him say was disgusting. Beat us all up, kill us, raping and stuff. I see all sides of it, but you seem sincere, like you're learning from this, and I think even the men who came on there, I guess they also wanted to see some of the men set them straight. I didn't really see anybody cursing his ass out, but everybody responds differently. But I see all sides. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm busy cleaning and stuff, but
No, you're fine, Cerebral. I'm just happy that you decided to come back up. And I'm just.
But
by the way, yeah.
Let me
Hello.
say this: I do not trust him. Just because he acted calm doesn't mean anything to me, because he can switch up on you at any time. That man was making threats, saying to beat us all up, no matter if we're, as long as we're mixed with black, to kill us and rape us. We not S and everything like that. And then he tried to act all calm and all that. I don't trust. No, I still don't trust that man. So
Yeah. No, I mean it's very obvious that right he's not gonna change, right? There's not much hope
yeah,
for Space Ghost Perp. But yeah, I agree. But listen, I'm thankful that the video was taken down, that there was an apology. Hey, right? I'll take what little or what most we can get in that situation. And so I just wanted to thank you once again, Cerebral. Her channel name is Cerebral, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening on audio, her channel name is Cerebral, CEREBRAL. Give her a shout out, give her a watch. Great content, and I appreciate you again, Cerebral, for
thank
coming
you.
up.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Cerebral. I appreciate you
Bye.
so much.
Bye.
I'm really happy that she decided to come up here. I had a lot of concern for Cerebral as well. I watched it a lot of times, y'all. I watched it a lot of times. I second guessed myself a lot of times. I said, man, maybe I was wrong. I can understand. I can understand. I do what I try to in real life. I really do, man. I do what I try to in real life. I give as much as I can to the little ones. I protect the ladies that I love. I make sure they all have guns. I buy guns for women. At least the women that I love. I try to do what I can. Let's move on. We'll go with Deanne. Deanne, it's good to see you again, Deanne. The floor is yours. Oh, unmute yourself. There you go. Oh, no.
Unmute, doesn't it?
There
Good
you go.
evening. Okay. As a professional journalist, I do understand what you were doing. This is how people got interviews with Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler. I think, though, there's a difference between reacting like Neville Chamberlain versus Winston Churchill. And I think that you may have come off a little bit too much of an appeaser, which, of course, Neville Chamberlain was doing what he could to preserve peace in Europe. And we appreciate his effort, but you can't negotiate with Hitler. You can't appease him. The result was 55 million people dead. The other thing about this, there is a man in history who made your approach and it worked to end the Civil War. No less a person as Ulysses S. Grant began his conversation with Robert E. Lee by reminding him that he admired him very much in the Mexican-American War 18 years earlier. And that did calm things down. However, Grant was criticized because he seemed to have forgotten that Lee had taken out 60,000 of his men in the previous year and a total of 120,000 men in total on behalf of keeping our ancestors enslaved forever. And even though he was able to negotiate it such that Lee surrendered, he let Lee box him into a corner such that the entire Confederate Army went home on parole. And that left time for the KKK to be founded in December of the same year. I don't have to go into the details of what that meant for Black people living at that time, particularly because none of these men were convicted, none of these seditionists were convicted or hung, and what that would mean from 1877 to 1965. And there's an argument to be made since the Confederate flag finally got to storm the Capitol on January 6, 2021, that the fact that it was not nipped firmly when Grant had a chance to take Lee into custody and nip that firmly, that it caused a great deal of trouble later. I give you the historical background because, like I said, I do understand your approach in some cases is successful. We saw what happened when Taz got a chance to make his approach, and if that had been a shouting match on the street, it would not have been protective to Black women. In fact, bullets may have flown. That wouldn't have been protective either. So we do see that that method does not work. In fairness to you, you did take a model that would allow negotiation in real life, that people could get away from it alive. So I commend you for that. You model what would work in real life, but even in real life, go back. Grant is considered a model for leadership. He was able to figure out how to end a war that day, but you have to look at all the consequences downstream when Lee types who wanted to keep 4 million Black men and women in slavery just get a little slap. The consequences run downstream. Neville Chamberlain, I don't have to explain that. You know the story of World War II. Hitler just got that. And I think my concern, I can commend you for doing it in such a way that the situation could be de-escalated. The video is down. It is no longer influencing other people. But I can tell you that as a Black woman, I would say to you in person what I'm saying to you today. I would be concerned about the downstream consequences of having a channel where I would have been happy if you had just asked him, did you really intend to have the right to kill 24 million people in America? I really wanted you to ask that question. I actually wanted to come on and ask that question, but StreamYard and the internet couldn't make it before the end of the show. I would have wanted to see you in a kind way, because I accept that you are who you are. But you had at least asked that question, did you really intend the genocide of 24 million Black women? Since you've talked about you're going to kill all Black women, okay, you try to do 6 times, you try to do 4 times the work of Hitler? I really would have wanted you to ask that question. Now you didn't. And I have to process. I've had a weekend, just a little while to process that disappointment. I've had the week. I don't get any sense that you meant that maliciously, that you did handle the difficult situation the best that you knew to do. But I want you to think downstream, we don't get anywhere slapping people to subjugate and dominate Black people, and Black women in particular. We don't get anywhere slapping them on the wrist. Although, to be fair to you, Taz wouldn't get us anywhere anyway. And in real life, you would have protected the Black woman in that situation because we would have gotten out alive and there wouldn't have been bullets going back and forth. In real life, to be fair to you. But as a media producer, downstream, I don't know if that's going to work out as well. But I commend you for thinking like you would have had to think on the street to get off the street alive. I will give you that recognition as a journalist. And I know what you were trying to do. I know that strategy would let us get out alive if we were in the street. So I commend you on that. But be careful. No less a person than Ulysses S. Grant won the Civil War, but that war never quite ended either. We're still dealing with it because he was just a little bit too gentle. Just a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I think that's an interesting perspective. I'll definitely take that into consideration for sure going forward. I appreciate the Deanne.
You're welcome.
Very, 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 very smart. Very smart. And a lot of praises in the chat, a lot of support for you. I appreciate that. Once again, we'll take you down. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right. Good night.
Good night. All right. Somebody in the chat says, watch him take her down, right? Because, of course, I can't have any reason that counter argues what I believe in, right? I'm just that evil of a person. I'm just that much of a panderer. I'm starting to realize a lot of y'all really do like, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways, but a lot of y'all really do like the arguments. You like to antagonize and you like to kind of, keep things going almost, right? Why would I have taken Deanne down? She was speaking very eloquently and she was speaking on point, and I was listening to what she had to say, right? But that's the mindset I'm starting to see that I really do have to deal with at this point, right? I'm starting to see that there are even people that are divisive in our home camp. Watch him take her down. It's always sad to read comments like that because that's exactly what the manosphere talks about. They talk about the ones in the camp that are divisive like that. Lemonade says, why am I focusing on the negative? To prove a point. We have to focus on the negatives every once in a while. If we don't focus on the negatives, then then hey, why, we have to focus on this, right? Gordon DeSeer says they don't like the corrections, bro. There are those of us that look to cause. Yeah, I know they're Taz's people. That's what Taz does. We had to have Taz on. If I didn't have Taz on, then their entire world's gonna fucking collapse. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna wrap up our live stream tonight. I appreciate everybody that's been here. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Everybody that's in the background, my apologies if y'all weren't able to speak. I'm about done with tonight. There's only so much. There's only so much I can deal with. Sorry, Tommy. Super Share says this was a disaster. Your life is a disaster. Go figure it out. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. Goddess Karma says you've been reported to the FBI too. I appreciate it. I'm sure they're already aware of me. I will always forever support anybody that wants to leave the channel. Please leave and don't ever come back. Do us all a favor, please. If you feel like your camp is out there, please go to your camp. Go to the domestic violence convicted felons. Please leave us non-convicts alone. Enjoy it. Taz was right about you. All right. Taz gonna bust your ass right upside the head too. Taz right about you? Y'all got me messed up, man. I got me really messed up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm live and I know I'm live, so I'm not gonna say anything I don't want to say. I'm just gonna say that once you leave, please leave. Leave and don't come back. Arrogance will bite you in the ass. Yeah, so they say. So they say. Somebody says they can't find Deanne's channel. I don't know Deanne's channel. To be honest with you, I didn't even know she had a channel. Queen Mercy said, "Oh hell, THT, you were doing good." No, it's fine. Her channel is Deanne Matthews. Deanne Matthews is Deanne's channel. Deanne Matthews. Organic Black says she's gonna get the link. Yeah, you know, I don't dwell on the madness too much. I don't dwell on the madness too much. Every once in a while, we got to have a mad stream. We got to have a mad stream. P space OF says cannot help them. Right. Advocating for and listen, I understand once again, we all have a past, but come on now. Y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping. Organic, I'll let you post a link whenever you post it. We'll roll this thing on out. Yeah, I see y'all joining. I can't have anybody else on right now. It's crazy. I see people in here right now that are commenting. They're like, yeah, THT, you're right. And then I've seen them on other channels being like, FTHT in Cynthia G's chat. I just don't want to highlight anybody, yo. Crystal says she found the channel. I read comments earlier today and the same people in the chat and be like, man, THT, you're a real one. Like, bro, your comment's still up saying F me on Cynthia's channel right now. Hey, what can you do? Listen, I love y'all. I really do. If you love me, I really do love y'all too. Listen, we're going to get back to the shenanigans. I wanted to do another live stream tonight, but it's all right because that just gives me a little bit more time to make that next live stream even better. You're not going to want to miss this. There is, I can't even say that, to be honest with you. Yakub, I'm not bringing you up, Yakub. That's for sure. There is it's going to be a good live stream. All right. It's going to be a great live stream. I appreciate everybody supporting. Y'all have been amazing. Yeah, I mean, they're just negative all day long. I mean, it's like, my God, come on. Jesus Christ. You know, I'll do everything I can for y'all and then some. You know, I do everything I can. Let me out, y'all. I love you guys, dude. Crystal Lewis says, keep doing what you do. Your channel is growing. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. 484 people still watching. I apologize. 2 hours is all we can do tonight. Check out the past live streams. If you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about right now, then just go watch the past live streams. And yeah, you should enjoy them. I don't know. Maybe you won't. Hopefully you do. I appreciate y'all. I see your comments, ladies and gentlemen. Tiffany, I see you. Yakub himself. Yep, that's Yakub for sure. That's Yakub. Nimkai, I always acknowledge the good and bad. I always acknowledge the good and bad. I keep seeing comments that are saying, just take this L, THT. I'm trying to take the L. Can I have it? Are you going to give me the L? Give me the L shape. I'm trying to take it from you, but you're like, no, you're not ready to take it yet. You need to understand the power of the L. And I'm like, please just give me the L so I can take it and get the hell up out of here. You're like, no. Just give it. I'm trying to take the L and accept that I was wrong. I said it. I understand completely. I just hope that y'all can understand me a bit as well. That's all I ask, man. That's all I ask. Y'all got me depressed, man. You know? This shit bothers me, man. Organic Black says they want to drill the LNT. Right. I know that's a word that Cynthia and Nyla always use, right? Drill. I've seen, I was watching them earlier. I forget who had something, but the ladies were like, yeah, it's time to drill. And I was like, drill. That's deep, man. Cynthia, I think either Cynthia and Nyla was like, yeah, girl, I'm about to drill. And she was like, I'm ready for your drill, or something like that. I was like, that was kind of cute, to be honest. But I know drill means that they're getting ready to turn the heat up in the kitchen. And so yeah, they want to drill. I'm tired of the drill, yo. I'm tired of the drill. Listen, violence when necessary. You think you're gonna walk around in public and try and punk me or punk somebody I'm with or something? No, it's gonna be a bad day. We can say I'm masculine. Taz says I'm gay. You can call me whatever you want. It don't matter to me, man. I'm comfortable and I have no problem with women. Shout out to all the guys that like women out there. Hey, shout out to all the guys that like guys out there. It don't matter to me, man. It's 2021. You just do you. Drill, drill, drill. I know. It's like, damn, y'all don't get tired of drilling? I get it. Don't worry. We got to drill sometimes. I get it. I know. I can't help it. Sometimes, when we care about people, we're like, damn, I thought y'all were fucking with me, It takes us for a little loop. I don't know. Donald's Truth has been a hectic week for you. I hope practicing self-care. Yeah, definitely. I'm practicing self-care. Talon said with the hot emojis. Fight the feelings of depression. Yeah, don't worry. I have good, very positive reinforcements and like positive vibes for me. I just got a bamboo plant. Actually, it's in the corner. It was taking up some sunlight today, but I got a bamboo plant and I just set it up there, and I'm just setting up some peaceful things around me because this is just a very hellish, type of environment to make YouTube a choice or a career path in. Most of the time, if you want to do YouTube, you want to be a non-confrontational creator. Like, you're talking about exercising or dieting or working out or toys or video games or something like that, right? Something where you don't make enemies. But here, you make enemies with people who like you, people who don't like you. You make enemies with people who you never heard of, who had never heard of you. It's kind of like it's like, damn, you're always getting hit from every which corner. And you're trying to figure out which person to hit. But you can't, you can't. Selah says, the honest truth. I appreciate it. That was a good comment there. She said we needed MLK and Malcolm X. You are more man than those who don't, I want to say, protest too much. I appreciate that, Selah. Thank you for the $5 super chat and for your channel membership. Yeah, I fight when it's time to fight. When it's time. Once again, I can't be there to fight all of y'all's fights, though. I can't be there to put my self-defense tools in your backpack or on your person. I can't be there with you. I want y'all to be able to fight for yourselves, if need be. That's all. Isaiah says, THT, in my opinion, make your own space and continue your message of holding black men accountable. The space is toxic. It's the manosphere 2.0. Yeah, it's definitely very toxic. I appreciate that. For sure, for sure. Tony Morrison says, stay strong, truth. This was just a minor bump in the road. I appreciate that, Tony. I appreciate that, as well as you being a longtime member of the channel. Tony, I hope all is well. I hope all is well with you. And I've been thinking about you and keeping you in my thoughts, thoughts and prayers, even though I need to pray a lot more. Thoughts and prayers. It's good to see Tony in the building. Organic Black for $5 says, just sending in my Mammy donation for tonight. So Organic Black, you've sent a lot of donations, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that support. And as well, another channel member, Lemonade's got her channel membership badge. Queensville's got a channel membership badge. It's good to see some channel membership badges in the building, different colors. Kier's in the channel membership badge. TMHC. I don't know what that stands for. TMHC. I also don't know what TBMOH stands for. T-Moth or something like that. TB Moth. It's like a secret or something. Trying to figure it out. Tavia, go ahead. The floor is yours, Tavia.
Sorry about that. So, truth, I just wanted to say that I think in all of this, like, bickering back and forth about whether or not you were masculine or held it down, we're just not having an honest conversation about the fact that over 1,400 Black women have been killed by the hands of Black men. And This is only this year alone. The year is not over yet. And we as a community, we can't even say out loud that it is Black men that are committing these crimes. Like, if you ever notice, whenever somebody talks about it, it's like this phantom person came into the community and is killing these women. So when I see a dude get on a platform and say he's going to murder Black women and he's Black, I got a problem with that. I have an entire problem. Then when I see white women come on that same platform, jibber jabbering, can't string together a coherent sentence, and I don't know if it's in defense of Black men or if they're just trying to insert themselves in the conversation and they're confused. I also got a problem with that. There were several issues that took place in that particular live stream, and I don't even think it's necessarily you to blame, but I do think that our culture and the way it exists, I think our culture, period, is problematic. I think our culture needs a complete overhaul. Even with my conversation with him, you know, me being quote unquote emotional, where I have every license to be emotional, being that I'm a woman, I could afford that, right? But I'm being told that I'm emotional, and I'm like, y'all don't see the issue with this public figure getting on a platform talking about how he's going to rape and kill Black women, let alone a specific Black woman. That is problematic. And even to you, Truth, yes, to a certain extent, you should have been a little bit more emphatic with the way you spoke to him, you know, and even if it's, I don't know if you could talk to him in a brotherly way, like, but also be very firm in your stance, like, look, this is wrong. This type of rhetoric is wrong. You are an influencer, because some of his flunkies was in the back chat. Some of his flunkies was in the chat talking about he's the GOAT. And if you have been following other men like this, what makes you think that they won't take on that kind of rhetoric, regardless of if he pulls back that rhetoric or not? It's out there in the ethos. It's out there forever. I got a problem with
Well,
that.
my goal was to have conversations behind the scene with them, and to at least try and, you know, speak with the guy behind the scenes and try and figure some stuff out. You know, that was my goal. But as far as the verbal checks, you know, I think that that's what a lot of people have said, and I've agreed with, and I'll continue to agree with, that I should have checked him more. Right, I should have checked him more. I didn't say as much as I should have. You know, I can agree with that, and I understand how you could take that and how a lot of people took that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what, you know, that would be. I think I just got the question from Nymph says, how would you have handled him in your own way if I was to check him, right? Personally, I think it would have been something along the lines of obviously just being a lot more confrontational and upfront with them and saying, man, you know, you're effed up for saying these things. You know, I mean, we should be killing you for saying these things. You should be in jail. You should be this. You should be that. And then obviously going on my my intellectual type of tirade of breaking him down in every other which angle, right? That's what people come to like from me. I just didn't take that angle, right? I just didn't take that angle at all. I decided to go a different direction. And it was probably the wrong time to choose a different direction to go in. Obviously, it was the wrong time to choose a different fucking direction to go in. Because fuck, you know.
I don't
So
think there's any use in being confrontational with the devil. I mean, he said
exactly,
he called
that's kind of
himself
what
a
I'm saying.
terrorist on the live stream at the end of the day. He said it himself. If you go back and listen, he said, I'm a terrorist.
I mean,
That's what he said.
that's why I'm kind of at a loss with here, because I mean, to some extent, obviously, I take this seriously, and that's why I decided to cover the video in the first place, right? But then to some extent, it's like, okay, obviously, this guy, I don't feel like is getting ready to walk down the street, and then, in my opinion, right after that phone conversation, I don't feel like he's ready to just go walk down the street and bash a girl over the head. I didn't feel or sense that. Now, yes, having said that, obviously it's very disturbing what he said. And if somebody's talking this way, then they have a propensity to do something, if not violent, up to that level of violence that he's speaking about. I think we need to obviously have some credibility for what's said. But when he approached and when he started speaking, it was a completely different type of energy there. And I just wanted to explore and figure out and hear how it was so different, or how he would come back and respond in certain situations. It was a case study for me, if you will, as well as a live interview, right? But I know I didn't do that the right way, and that wasn't the right time to have a case study, but rather to get him to understand the importance of morality inside of America, right? And the need to not kill people, which I'm not trying to say sarcastically, but get him to understand that what he said was obviously very problematic, and B, was very disturbing, especially the things about doing some of the horrible things to say, right? Cutting out certain body parts and things of that nature. It was obvious that it's very bad to say, right? I should have definitely still focused on that more basic type of route, though, and in a sense, understanding that it would be a protection for women online. I can understand that completely, 1,000%, 1,000%, right? So
I'm gonna leave you with this, and especially the audience. On January, regardless of where you lean politically, on January the 6th, white folks felt so riled up by something that Trump said, and he didn't even say it completely and totally. They were so riled up that they went and stormed the Capitol, and this had never been done in the United States of America. White people, they said, fuck everybody else. This is what we're doing. And they went in there and they rummaged through pages. They threatened lives. They had zip ties. They was going to do some stuff. They were threatening people that looked like us, right? That were police officers in uniforms. They told them, fuck your badge, right?
right.
Based off of something that Trump simply alluded to, because he never fully said the words, I want you to storm the Capitol, tie up Nancy Pelosi. He never fully said that, okay? And so when you have an influencer or somebody with the following saying things, and you have enough angry and pissed off men, just like they did in January 6th, okay? What do you think could possibly happen? So I'm gonna leave people with that thought. Just really think about that. This is not the time to be playing around with what people are simply saying. And you saying, oh, I don't think he might not have done this after. We don't know what this man is capable of. We know that he has a criminal past. We know that he's a little slow. We know that he also is very emotional.
Right.
And for me, I'm not fucking with that, because that could be a recipe for disaster. And sometimes I listen to not only what people say, but how they say it. And he said that with his chest.
Well, tell you, that's the reason that I brought it up in the first place. I think it is important, and I think you bring up a lot of good points. I think it's important to really understand and see where a person's at, and to hear what they say, as well as feel what they say, not just listen to what they say, right? I think the biggest thing with him in particular is that, once again, this is bringing attention to the situation. And listen, he's not the only guy like that out there, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There's more. My biggest thing is what Shannon's saying, and the reason I let him talk is because I want you to really understand, as a lady, this feeling that you really understand so viscerally now. And so you might hate me for it. But do you own a firearm right now?
I can't, because of my state.
Because of your state.
I should say, I'll put it to you like this. I own, but I can't carry it.
Right.
The way I want to.
Yeah, I feel you.
But I have other things that I can do. I definitely make sure I have the Jinsu, if you know what that is. I definitely make sure I have that on me, and I make sure I have spray. And if I get caught with that, I better be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
There you go. Yeah, Tony, that's I appreciate it. That's kind of the point. Why did I tell women to cam up too? I tell women to cam up because it makes the show more interesting and more fun to watch. So that's why I tell women and everybody to cam up. It makes it more fun for you guys, right?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that, I wanted to have that on because, once again, we talk about self-defense all the time at the end of every live stream, and I wanted to bring that up just to show people, A, first and foremost, bring public attention to it, but B, that these types of people are really out here, right? C, I figured that I'd be able to use my platform for a good thing before I was demonized for essentially not doing that. And then whatever other letter that follows after, I thought that it'd be a change, or at least a spark of conversation that could be had, where we could start to really tackle a few different issues, right? But out of this came a lot of different problems, So I think that I meant well, and I would hope that my meanings would be interpreted as well. and that they would be received as so. And for those who don't interpret my, well meanings to be so, then, it sucks, but that's life. Not everybody's going to like you, right? So what can you do, right? I just hope that once again, the message has been somewhat cleared up on my end as to why I did what I did, said what I said, didn't say what I didn't say, and we'll move forward from the situation, pressing on, So
Basically, everybody likes drama. That's what it is. And, people like drama at the end of the day, but I'm like, fuck drama. This dude said kill all black women, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but we're black women, and he was a little bit too. He was just a little too emphatic with it, and I'm good. But Truth, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you for having me on. I just want you to keep your head in the game. This is a learning lesson. You taking it on the chin. It is what it is. I know you're gonna say pause, but just keep trudging forward. And listen, you're not going to be able to please everybody. You are not going to be able to have everybody understand you the way you meant it, right? Things get lost in translation. But to the people that do understand what you're saying, you have to continue for them, right? And you have to also realize that not everybody is ready for certain kind of messaging. If you've lived your life a certain way for a certain amount of time, it's going to take time for you to understand that there is a different way, right? We understand it's from kids that grew up in the projects, like that's all they know. And when they come out, it's like, oh shit, this is a different lifestyle. So just understand that too. It may not happen for them today or tomorrow, but it could happen months down the line, right? And you're obviously doing something right because you have people that are disagreeing with you. And there's nothing wrong with having disagreement and discord. There's nothing wrong, discourse. There's nothing wrong with, people being able to come to you and saying, look, I didn't like the way you handled it. But at the same time, they're still in the audience. Even though they're talking shit, they're still in the audience. They're still listening. You haven't really lost until they really, if people didn't fuck with you at all, they wouldn't fuck with you. They wouldn't listen to you for the most part. But there's something that's still drawing them in. So just continue to do what you do, even if it's in disagreement. You don't want an echo chamber. You don't want people, yes, 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 yes. As nobody learns that way. And you see the different perspectives and just keep trudging forward. I'm gonna get out of here because I need to wake up early in the morning. Everybody take care of themselves. Ladies, strap up. Take that self-defense class. And if you hear somebody sound crazy, they might just be crazy. And too many of us are dying because we are trusting people with the same complexion as us. Just because we think just because they're black, oh, we're safe. No, suss everybody out. Everybody's a suspect until they prove otherwise at the end of the day, because over 1,400 people, black women, have died. Just take that into consideration. You have a good night, Truth.
Thank you, Tabby. You too.
Bye.
All right. Bye. True Mystique, I appreciate you. I also appreciate everybody in the chat room. Man, I see you. Educated me. Educated my mind. I don't know. Paint dry. Y'all are so mean. Tavia is awesome. I appreciate you, Tavia. We still have a couple of people here. Let's see, we're at 2.5 hours here. We got to take at least a couple more. So the Black Audacity, go ahead. The voice is yours, or the floor is yours.
Hi, hello. Glad to be back on your panel. I had talked to you the other day. I was getting ready for work. I'm a nurse, but
Okay.
put your seatbelt on. So I was just calling to give my perspective on the whole purple space person and the interview that you had with him. I know that someone else that I also follow had an interview with him, and I have noticed the backlash that you've received in reference to the interview that you had with him. I think that you and the other content creator have totally different personalities and ways that you handle your interviews and your content. So I understand that two different people are going to handle things two totally different ways. So I can respect both perspectives. What I will say in reference to my take on the interview that you had with him is that just specifically being a black woman, and since he referenced that he wanted to beat up, rape, and kill black women. I don't know if he went as far as to say kill, but I do know he said beat up and rape, and that he also called for other men to also do the same thing. That I just wish in the interview that you had with him that you had sort of went in, like I understand the psych that you sort of were trying to get to the psychology of his perspective and try to understand him, and I think that men will do that with each other, especially black men, because you guys have a unique situation that's going on in America, as well as the black woman. We have a unique situation, so we tend to give prudent to each other and give somewhat leeway to each other. Um, so I feel like you did sort of give him a little bit of leeway to try to give his perspective, but I sort of understand why you did that. But I also want it to be known that that black women and children in America are being killed at alarming rates compared to other races of women. So um, when we um, when we don't take situations serious with what people are saying, and even if he doesn't have the intention to do harm on someone, just the environment that we are in right now with a lot of hostility within the genders of the black race, like there is so that, like, even the murder rate of black women has went up. In my city, it went up 200% last year, in DV cases. So just like putting those type of messages out there, even if he doesn't intend to do it, it can lead to other men who replicate that mindset. It's just, it's toxic, it's very harmful, and it's a danger to black women within the black community. So it's something that really, like, if I feel like if you're having an interview with someone like that, you really have to like push the narrative that it is not okay for him to say that, and that is, and push how dangerous that narrative is for him to say that, not just, try to get his perspective on it, but really push to the audience like this is very, very dangerous. This rhetoric is very dangerous, and do that not only when he's not on the line, but do it when he's on the line. Like, this is very dangerous, regardless of why you said it, regardless of his upbringing. And I heard that he was saying he was an Israelite, which those, in my opinion, people that come from the Israelite background tend to have very um
Okay.
really out there perspectives.
Yeah. No, a black artist.
But
Listen,
I won't go into
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. I hear what you're saying for sure. I hear what you're saying 1,000%. I take that in. I'm listening to you. I take that in. I'll let you have your final words. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say, is that we just really in our community, with it already being a lack of protection for the women, the children, and the men are themselves are in a lot of danger within the community. We just really have to um put a put out those type of narratives, and get the people that say those things and promote that type of rhetoric. We really have to call them to the carpet, and I mean, and really stand on the fact that that's not okay. And that's all I wanted to say. But I still rock with you. I just, like I said, I understand that you and other content creators have different ways of handling interviews, and I feel like you're a little bit more calm, which is fine. Everybody handles things differently. I just really wanted you to understand that rhetoric is very, very dangerous, and it's already dangerous enough for most black women and children in black communities across America. But that was all.
Well, I appreciate that, Black Audacity. Thank you so much, and I'll definitely keep that in mind moving forward. Appreciate your time. You have a good night, okay?
You're welcome. Good night.
You're welcome. Bye. Okay. How do you buy a channel membership? Jazzy Q says, you click the $ that you just saw highlight after Toni Morrison donated $5. She says, for $5, I wish Black women would take this smoke to Jason Black, BGS Immore, BGS, not IGS, BGS Immore, Obsidian, etc. These guys are a nightmare. Yeah, it's a little difficult kind of dealing with so much smoke when you're the one trying to protect them from the real smoke, or at least trying to really give them a solution to help them with the real smoke, to buy the membership, just click the $, then click join channel in the live chat box. When you join the channel for $3.99, you can get access to the paywalled videos. It's just videos of me explaining different personal stories of my life and stuff like that. I was going to make some videos of me going to the range, but I'm kind of hesitant to do it on this channel because I don't know if I want to put firearms on this channel. I might make a separate channel, but either way, I got videos coming for members only and stuff like that. Yeah. There was another comment I saw. Also, Nimkai, I appreciate your comments about the futuristic sunglasses. I thought that was pretty funny, so I appreciate that. Let me see. Y'all's comments are crazy. We're gonna go with Farrakhan. Farrakhan, you're up. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Brother, what's wrong with Space Ghost? What's wrong with him talking, killing, and raping?
All right. Farrakhan waited a long time for that. So, I mean, as long as it's worth your wait, Farrakhan, by all means. Lace, go ahead. The floor is yours, Lace.
Hey. Okay. So I just was watching this on my television, actually. And I'm on the part where Themis is talking now. I had to I'll start from the beginning. And the guy before him, I was annoyed because he said that it was fake outrage and no one caught a flight yet. But we clearly saw that other young men were influenced by SpaceGhostPurrp, right? So it's not even the fact that SpaceGhostPurrp, may come and kill a Black woman. It's the boys that he influenced. And I can give you an example of this and how it's not fake outrage and how we should not take the situation lightly. My nieces, who are 10 and 12, were walking home recently from school. One of my nieces dropped something in the street and she went to go get it. And my other niece told me it was a car that was driving really, really fast and almost hit my other niece who went to go grab something in the street. And so the guy stopped the car and rolled down his window and said, "Say I won't." So again, it's not about Ghost himself coming to kill a woman. It's about the young boys that he influenced. So I wish people would stop saying it's fake outrage. And Black women and men, we always wait to the last minute to react to something. And that is the wrong moment to take something seriously. If someone says they're going to do something, I think you should believe him. Because didn't that same thing happen to Jennifer Hudson, sister? Her husband said, "If you leave me, I will kill you." And guess what? He killed not only her, but the mother and some children. So I don't think we should take lightly to people who say they're going to kill somebody. I don't think that's something that should be taken lightly.
All right. Yeah, I don't think it is either. Once again, that's why I decided to make a video on it. I thought it was a pretty serious situation. I thought he was really getting ready to just head out there and start killing people. I really did think it was that type of thing. And so I was bringing it up for public attention. I was like, I got to cover this. I was sent the story by another content creator. I'll mention her. She wants to be mentioned. I'm not going to mention her right now, but and I was just like, wow, this is a crazy story, right? So I was like, I appreciate it. And so I think a few other people had already kind of like talked about it in some other places online and stuff. I'm not gonna give away any of my sources. But I thought it was really important. I was like, let me bring this to the attention because I want ladies, I want people, I want the world to see what goes on in the Black communities with the people who have the least amount of fathers to protect them from guys like this. I want them to see and hear everything. That's why I brought it up. I didn't know he was going to join, but when he joined, I wanted him to say everything. I wanted it to be live and direct just so the world could see. so the world can see and hear for themselves.
Yeah, and I
Gloria,
just want to say one more thing to the
eh,
women who are saying that, I guess we shouldn't, black women shouldn't have to fight men should fight men. And I think black women need to open their eyes and realize there is no time in history that black men have ever fought for black women. So if history have shown you this, why do you think something's going to change today? Like, you have to wake up and defend yourself if you have to. And like you said, you can't wait till the police come, because we just saw where the girl, she was walking her dog and it took the police, and the guy came to her door with um ties or something like that, and gloves and a gun, and it took the police 15 minutes to come. So even if she did call her boyfriend or her uncle or somebody, she said her friend came after the fact with a gun. The police showed up 15 minutes later. So you tell me you're just gonna later and die and wait for someone to save you? No, you
my
have to
exact
be
point.
prepared for things.
That's my point. I can't,
Exactly.
even if I destroy him online, that's going to give you some false sense of dependability on me. I'm not going to be
Exactly. I
with you in
agree.
real life.
I completely agree with that point. Yeah, I do. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Leslie. Bye.
Bye.
Kier, welcome to the live stream. Kier, channel member, longtime supporter. I know Kier is a little bit upset at me as well, but Kier, I understand. What are your thoughts on today's message?
Oh, thank you. Hey, hey, chat, hey, panel.
Hey,
Who
Kier.
said I was upset with you?
Oh, I just, well, no. I was just giving you I was trying to just, I was trying to make sure you're okay no matter what in any situation.
Oh no, we're good. I wasn't doing the same thing as Deanne. I just stayed all the way back and just was processing. I'm still processing, so that's where I'm at right now, and I'm just gonna stay there until I'm completely done. I'm not gonna move. Not yet.
Kier, what does TMHC stand for?
I can't say.
Y'all in these acronyms are killing me. I can't. I'm trying to guess. There was no way I was going to guess the black man or something, whatever it might be, out the house. There was no way I would guess that. Y'all are hilarious. I can't with the pills and with the. I like the concept, but it's so much harder to figure out than the acronyms and the pill color. The pill color I can figure out. The acronyms are tough, but I'm gonna guess. Keep on guessing, and if y'all decide to let us know, or if you decide to let me know, you just let me know. I won't tell anybody. Oh, Alpha might have given you up. Alpha Omega might have given you up. Well, Kier, listen, I appreciate it. I know there's a lot to listen to, a lot to think about. I know a lot of people are in a lot of different places, on a lot of different positions of the fence right now with this conversation and how it relates to my failures of protecting black women publicly or online. And I just hope that maybe in the future I can have another chance to redo it for y'all. I know that I might have missed the mark. I know that I might have messed something up or messed things up or not done it as effectively as you would have wanted or had a different idea of what it might look like online. I know I might have completely missed the mark and not even landed a single percent on the scale of 0 to 100 as far as me protecting and what that should have looked like in your mind or what it should have looked like, period. And I accept that. I'm not perfect. Believe it or not, I'm not. I'm not a perfect person. I'm a guy. I'm just a guy, and I think I'm a pretty cool guy, but a lot of people won't think I'm cool, and I'm all right with that. I know where my heart's at the end of the day, and I know where a lot of y'all lie with me. So I'm happy about that. And if you trust me, you do. If you don't, then you don't. I can't do anything past that. All I can do is say that I wish you the very best, and I truly do. So long as you don't harm anybody or any of mine, and then I'll continue to wish the very best, and for the very best of all of you, or to all of you as well. So this is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Kier, I'm going to go ahead and take you down, my love. I appreciate you, though. We'll take Kier down. Trunks, I appreciate you. Trunks, I know I said I'll let you come up last time. It's not your time yet, Trunks, but soon. Hopefully soon. Regina, I had to take care of you. I had to take you down as well, Regina. I'm sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the last drama stream for a while. How long is a while? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I just want to thank everybody for watching the stream. We had a lot of people in here. THMC and TMHC. I see what it means now. Be sure for $10 says no matter what, find and embrace your talents and purpose. THT. You are not trash ever. You are a human, man. I appreciate that. Be sure to. I appreciate that from all the brothers that do appreciate and support. I appreciate you reaching out as well behind the scenes. Okay. I appreciate that, bro. And for everybody else that reached out behind the scenes, for the True Channel OG members, and for where the channel is going, because believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, and I do believe it at this point, There's a lot of areas and a lot of places where I want this channel to go to, because there's a lot of conversations and discussions that still need to be had, and it might make some of you upset. That's the bottom line. It might make some of you upset, and so that's not my goal or my intention to do so. Once again, I hope that you see that I have a pure heart, and I appreciate y'all. Once again, MTR is mediocre tutorials and reviews. He's a red pill content creator who was recently diagnosed with testicular cancer, and they're not sure what stage it is. I don't think he's uploaded in 3 weeks or maybe a month at this point, because he had emergency surgery. So not sure. Right. I appreciate the kind words. Good love, THT. Nymph, I appreciate that. Just got to leave it and be what it is. All right. Que sera, sera. You can't win every fight. Not everybody's going to like you, but those that do like you, stick with them. And I'll fight that much more harder for you to continue to improve the content, the quality of content on this channel, the ideas and everything that I have in my mind, to put them on the paper into actual physical, virtual YouTube representation. This is going to be it once again, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize, for everything. I do. And I'm sure this won't be the last time I have to apologize, but, hopefully the next time it doesn't have to be as dramatic as this. If y'all have anything you want to say to me, then give me an email. And I hope that I can fix it or correct it. That's my goal. I got y'all's back, and I'll do anything for y'all. It tears me down when y'all feel that I don't do well, by y'all's standards, because I really care. I really care, and I really want to feel like I'm making a difference. So, as long as some of y'all know I'm making a difference, then that's what matters to me. Black Woman Aware said, I just subbed and you're going to quit? No, I'm not going to quit. Don't worry. Apology accepted. All right. That's enough, ladies and gentlemen. That's enough sombering. We're back. We're heading out. We're coming back. I didn't need to apologize, but thank you for listening to my apologies. I'm going to see you on the next one. Take care of yourself. Think about self-defense. You live one life. You get one chance to dance. Don't let somebody steal your limelight, or don't be ready to dance in the limelight when the limelight is trying to shine on you. I will see you soon, ladies and gentlemen, and good freaking night.